Okay, first of all, just thanks very much to Lane, who's our technical expert and organiser. Fantastic. And of course to Max as our MC, who's just been amazing over these years, because without them, this concert would not really be happening. It's just amazing to think it's 9 years since John died. It's some days it seems like he's still around here, actually. Anyway, thanks to every one of you out there. I just think it's wonderful, all of you there, that you turn up each year or have done, and you know, still turning up. Good to see you all there. Those who are performing, that's just splendid. It's probably a unique concert. There's probably nothing quite like this commemorative concert, right, shouldn't it? And anyway, I'm going to start with a revision of one of John's songs. As you know, John wrote some vindictive songs, actually. And so this one was one that he wrote in the tradition of Australian songs, you know, the Farewell to the Brisbane Ladies. You'll all, nearly all of you will know it anyway. There was a certain person on the 1st of August in 1968 came into the Queensland Parliament and stayed there till 1989. Farewell to Joe, John's song. I thought if he'd been around, as many people have often said, you know, John would have certainly had a few words to say about the graceless exit of the man who carried a lump of coal into Parliament and kept it on his desk, I gather. So here we go. Farewell and adieu. Farewell and adieu to slimy Sliscomo. Farewell and goodbye to all of his lies. You incompetent bastard, too long you have lasted. Now Australia's decided that you have to go. You ranted and roared at the teals and the greenies. You ranted and roared at the trans and the gays. You postured and strutted, dressed just like a worker. But when push came to shove, you quit just like a shirker. As some sort of pastor, you're a total disaster. Don't trust us, you said, of your government's core. Get back to your youth then and learn a few chords. You pious, hypocritical, adjective, noun. Have to get that line in, wouldn't we? Stick that up your jumper, you old Bible thumper. You bullied the women and thought you were God. You claimed it a miracle, but then just like a clod, some child felt your tackle and you lost the goal. You ranted and roared at the unions, You ranted and roared at the teals and the greenies. You ranted and roared at the black and the unions and blacks. You postured and strutted, but ne'er held a hose. Now Australia's decided that you're on the nose. So that, if John were around, would be somewhat like a song that he might have written for the last one to go. And the other day I was going through one of our drawers and I came across this sheet in John's handwriting with all sorts of corrections of a poem he wrote probably back in the 1990s. And I did ask Roisin if she would like to recite it, but she said no, she'll just give us a smile, I think, later. So I'm going to read it for you. And I've typed it up actually so I can see it better on my iPad. So here we go. John was actually performing out at Broken Hill around about the 1990s. Well, the flooding rains might stop the trains, but the bus from Dubbo goes. And the driver smiles at thoughts of miles of vile American videos. And I'll lay large bets that he has cassettes of music that will make you ill. And I rather think you'll need a drink when you get to Broken Hill. At Nevertire, he'll have raised your ire, but you dare not make a fuss. You can writhe and toss, but the driver's boss, you're a prisoner upon that bus. At Ningentown, he will set you down for a sandwich and short respite. Then back you sit through a load of shit. You have sinned and it serves you right. You moan and weep and you try to sleep, and the rolling plains are dark. There's a ban on booze and you've lost your shoes, and the videos have left their mark. The toilet's bung, so your flaming tongue's not the only thing you hold. Now Cobar's past and you're sinking fast in the land of the rainbow gold. Now count the cost for the Darling's crossed, and the hill's not far away. You've swollen feet, and I'll be discreet and censor what I'd like to say. The driver knows that you've been on the throes of every kind of pain. On bended knees, I beg you please, bring back the bloody train. But as you know, he did have some train trips that he took that he wasn't so happy with, and it's good because other people are going to sing the song, so that'll be tremendous. So over to you all, and back to Lane.
Can I just say there that particular poem he recited on Jim Haynes and myself railway CD, Sleepers and Rails, and he's got that one, and of course the one that I know other people will sing later. But that was one that sort of just out of the blue. I don't know if it ever been recorded again, but he recorded that for us and put it on Sleepers and Rails, the railway CD back in 1992 or something. You'd know, Dale, but probably nobody else has got a copy of it. It's a collector's item now. It means it's under my bed.
Thanks, Big Russ. Thanks for joining us. Lovely. I haven't heard that poem before either, Dale. It was really great. Now, we've got our next performer, I imagine. Have we got one of the Dengate clan coming along now? I've got Sean, Cal and Roisin. And
so Mandy. I've just got an update. So Sean's got a song for us. Mandy's going to do a performance, but the kiddies are both bowing out. I think just enjoying life instead of performing, which is fair enough. So I think Sean is around, but I'm not sure if he's ready to go yet. Is anyone else want to jump in first?
I can go if you guys want. Get it, because mine is outside my performance.
Oh, wonderful.
So it might rain soon.
Okay.
So
I'll leave that to you, Max, if you want to do a bit of a chat.
Okay, now I'm going to ask Dale to do an intro for this one. Are you there, Dale?
Just give me 2 seconds, then I'll set up.
Yes. Okay. Well, while Mandy's setting up, I'll just explain so something that. Okay, so something that many of you may not have realised either, that John in his youth, of course, as all the young men, was in Nashos, and they had a lieutenant who marched them round and round and round and drilled, so they won the battalion banner, and that was a banner that John had. I remember it was red. And so Mandy's going to do some marching, but I know that John's marching was never up to the standard, I think, of Mandy's with the baton. So
as I said, forgive me if I drop it. I'm very rusty. It's been 40 years, so.
It'll only be good if you drop it.
All right. 2 seconds, I'll grab it.
Mum, that was the best ad-libbing I have ever heard. I don't know how you've made a link between Dad marching and Mandy doing this.
Segue. Segue, yes, lovely.
Okay, so it's many years of running folk events. I would imagine Dale's come very good at putting a string from one thing to another.
Here we go.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Hang on, not yet. 1 tick. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting the music.
Make sure you set fire to that baton before you start.
Look at that beautiful outfit.
The kids are very embarrassed by my outfit today, but I said, you know, it's probably a better performance with the outfit.
You must be cold in that outfit, are you?
Sorry, just give me a minute. Yeah. You need my password? You're good. Okay.
Do you want to press play?
I'm done.
Did you see the two dogs in the background waiting for you to throw the stick? Just waiting over there behind you.
That was excellent.
Oh, beautiful.
Excellent. No, Mandy, that was so great. I tell you, you know, when they say that is a hard act to follow, I don't know if anybody's going to follow that.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
just hoped
yes.
I do it. They didn't think I'd do it. I did it,
Fantastic.
right?
Great.
Stuff them. Stuff the teens.
Yeah.
You must
Stuff
be
the long
nice and
ladder
warm
down
now,
the
aren't you,
short
Mandy?
road.
That's beautiful.
So
Hey,
great, Mandy.
Just jumping in, that was so wonderful. Thank you, Mandy. Just going to grab the Virago team because one of them has to leave shortly. So we're just going to pop them on next, if that's okay. Sorry, Max,
Right.
just taking
Yep.
your MC job.
Yeah, perfect. So we've got Virago with Kath Morgan and Di Clifford. Are you with us?
Yep, they're down here. I'm just going to take them off the mute. So
Yep.
a little thing should have popped up on your screen, guys. Just press unmute. There they are.
Yeah, the controls, aren't they wonderful? Yes, well, we have a book that, well, I bought one from John about 1990, and yes, trains are good, aren't they, Russ? So we have Train to Guildford, and we both had experiences about this sort of thing, so it's very real. Waiting, waiting for the 4 to arrive. Make the 4 doesn't run anymore. The next train's a 5:15. Time means money, they say. I must get to Guildford today. Did he say platform 9 for the Liverpool line? Do I have to change trains on the way? Indicator, please won't you indicate soon with your little round light that this platform is right. I've been waiting at Central since noon. This old fellow here next to me caught the bus out from Circular Quay. He scratches his ass with his pensioner's pass, but he's on the wrong line for now. We waiting, waiting for the 4 to arrive. Make the 4 doesn't run anymore. The next train's a 5:15. Come on, you timetable mob. I'm desperately short of a bob. I'm in my good gear, I'm right off the beer. And at Guildford they say there's a job. Indicator, please won't you indicate soon with your little round light that this platform is right. I've been waiting at Central since noon. The service is worse than a fraud, and the fare's more than I can afford. But I'll never complain. Here comes the train to Guildford, and now I'm aboard. But it's Wentworth Hill, Pendle Hill, we're rattling toward Emu Plains. I should have got out when I heard someone shout, at Granville you have to change trains. Waiting, waiting for the 8:20 to go back. But the 8:20 is a half hour late. And I think I'll lie down on the track.
Good on you, guys. Woohoo!
Thanks, Kath and
Lovely to
Di.
see you.
That was
That
great.
was so great.
Are you coming up for the Sydney Festival?
Yes, it's a paper
Excellent. Excellent.
and
See you
yes,
in a
a month
fortnight.
later. I mean, now that we can leave town and sing, we're going to all these things, aren't we? I'll
Excellent.
wish you all the very best and say goodbye now. I'll have to head off. So have
Good
a
on
wonderful
you.
afternoon, everybody.
Thanks
Catch me
very
on the
much.
farm,
Thanks for
girl.
doing that.
Yeah, thank you. And
Thank you.
Russ, hi to you from Philip Ward.
Okay, now we might be back to the Dengate family for our next performance. Is that right, Dale? Are you with us?
So I think Sean was happy to go next.
Yeah, Sean's good.
Yep. We're just going to pop him up here.
Lane, let me know if you can hear me.
Yep, you're all ready to rock?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing fabulous. Max, you're doing a great job comparing. You compare the way I do, which is, hey guys, who's on next?
I think it's more like
What the
comparing.
hell's going on?
Comparing.
Hey, to Lane and Max, to you both, thank you once again for organising this. You just do such a wonderful job. Lane, I didn't realise that being IT desktop support was going to be part of the challenge of this concert over the years. But given we're all on Zoom and Teams these days, I think that's important. It brings everyone from all over the country together, all over the world together. So I love that. That's what this get together has become. It's really something we appreciate. So given the sense that this is now a worldwide event, I received a song that Boris Johnson wrote about himself. It's hot off the press. He just sent it to me in the last couple of days, and I must admit, having read his words that he wrote about himself, honestly, I think it's tough that people should judge a man just because he holds parties when everyone's in lockdown, just because he's a compulsive liar, and just because he protects sexual predators. I think it's very unfair that we've all judged him. So in his defence, I'm going to sing a song about Boris Johnson. I'm a very Tory man. Brexit was my plan. Europe's refugees were taking all our jobs. Now I'm unemployed, the cause I can't avoid. Chris Pincher started grabbing people's knobs. He then confessed it all. He said the Pincher grabbed some balls. I've embarrassed myself, now punishment is sought. To my response he was surprised. I said, don't worry, I'll tell some lies, and I'll lie about my lies if I get caught. I'll lie about my lies if I get caught. As Conservatives resigned, I took this as a sign. My days as UK's PM were no more. It was time to contemplate all the things that made me great, like sending Britain's economy to the wall. Those traitorous MPs could affect my legacy, the most untrusted Prime Minister Britain's had. So I'll make sure my hair distracts from the despair, then my legacy won't seem so bad. Then my legacy won't seem so bad. I had to plan my farewell before I go to hell. A celebration Downing Street won't be denied. All the Tory MPs love to attend my parties, but we'll have to make Chris Pincher stand outside. But I can't enjoy myself when everybody else has the right to move freely about town. So my final mandate to make my farewell great will be to put Great Britain back in lockdown. Be to put Great Britain back in lockdown. Thank you very much for letting me do that.
Beautiful song. Christy Moore would be proud of you. Christy's beautiful tune, Ordinary Man.
Yes, we'll pick Max.
No, that's great. Good on you, mate. Really
Obviously,
lovely.
parody, Max, obviously parody is inherited.
Exactly. Runs in the blood deep and thick.
That's what I was going to say, Sean, you've set a precedent now that you've done this, I think, is it 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row, you've done an amazing song. You've almost got enough to do a set at a folk festival.
Don't laugh. You'll be up there.
Well, one little problem, I can't sing, so...
Oh, get away. Oh, you brained it, mate.
Anyway,
Beautiful.
Well, pass it back to the professionals now, Max.
It was great. Thanks,
Good
Sean.
on you, Sean. Yeah, see you, mate. Okay. Now back to Dale. I think if we can find our next performer? Do we know what's happening, Dale?
So, Father, just refer
Yep.
to the list and just ask for the next person.
Okay, but I think Cal and Roisin aren't performing. Is that right?
Yeah, no, they're both out.
Okay, so we've got a video from Doug Jenner next on my list.
I think we'll stop that for a moment because I'm still converting it.
Okay.
So, is there anyone that's ready to go that wants to put up their hand?
Lachlan as well, and myself. But is Lockie ready?
No, Lachlan's a video as well. So the videos we'll just keep for a moment. Sorry. So is anyone else there that's ready to rock? I've got lots of very amazing people on the list that I can see. If anyone wants to jump in, do you want to put your hand up? Because I can see you. There we go. I've got Margaret and Alan there.
Great.
I'll just unmute you guys.
Now, which Margaret have we got there? Is it Margaret Walters or
No,
Bradford?
I'll just add it so you can perhaps see.
Okay.
There we go. We just got to press the unmute button there, Margaret.
Hey, Margaret, we may be able to see your leg.
Oh no, you wouldn't want to see that. I've got a heat bag on at the moment. It's worrying. No, I'm getting around well now. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, good on you,
I'm not in a
mate.
good spot there, Emma. I've got the light right behind, but you don't want to see me, do you? Really, necessarily?
We do.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to do Georgiana Malloy, a song I've written. I'm not doing. I usually do parodies and nonsense things, and I've been writing a lot of things about digitally illiterate people like me. You digitally illiterate, or you oldies? I am. Anyhow, Georgiana Malloy is an amateur botanist, and it's a bit of a plug, sorry, for my CD, Inspirational Women, that's just come out. And I've been writing songs about these women, amazing Australian women you don't hear much about. And I thought I'd produce. Oh, Alan's going out of the room. He's heard it. No, she lived 1805 to 1843. She came out in the early 1800s. Very brave woman, had just trying to condense it as much as I can. Her knowledge of the local Indigenous people to collect and identify the rare natives plants was pretty amazing. And a lot of her specimens can still be found in Kew Gardens today. I've actually recorded this with my daughter and a few other, is that upside down? My daughter and 2 other instrumentalists, and Marcus Holden's done some lovely fiddle on it. Anyhow, I'll get on with it. Georgiana, woman of botany, Georgiana, woman of botany, Georgiana Malloy. Let's speed up, Marky. A woman before her time, in the year of 1829, she emigrated to Australia as the wife of Captain John Malloy. Soon after landing, her first baby born on the beach, no medical help within reach, in a country so untamed and strange, she was never prepared for this change, till the strain of constant childbearing finally took its toll. Georgiana, woman of botany, Georgiana, woman of botany, Georgiana Malloy. How could she see what her life would be for a lady from England's green shore? But never despaired, the glory unique just inspired her to seek more. Though a busy mother and wife, collecting flowers was her passion in life. While settlers only saw poor grazing land, Georgiana saw the beauty of flowers. To find that rare plant, she'd search for hours. Georgiana, woman of botany. Georgiana, woman of botany. Georgiana Malloy. Aborigines who knew the land would willingly lend her a hand, with a baby on her hip and another tagging on behind. Botanists in England welcomed her new findings. Her careful packaging ensured they survived. So you can see them still today in Kew Gardens on display, as pristine as when they first arrived. Georgiana, woman of botany. Georgiana, woman of botany. Georgiana Malloy. So if you're out walking in the bush one day and you see our floral blooms on display, give a thought to the woman who inspired us all, preserving them for everyone today. Thanks, everyone. That she had 9 children in about only the 15 years she was here. And her plants were very much sought after in Kew Gardens in England, as she sent them back because they were so well packaged. So as I said, they're surviving in Kew Gardens today. I haven't sung much, no excuses, but I've had all these wonderful people to help me do the CD. And I've been lazy, I haven't been playing the instruments much. Anyhow, lovely to see everyone on the screen and look forward to hearing more songs.
You too, Mark.
Hope to see you on your feet well and properly next time.
Thanks. I've been taxing my better leg, my good leg, and it's sore now.
Right.
That's how it
You've done
goes,
very
isn't
well.
it? Yeah.
Happy you're dancing by Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's what happens to horses, Margaret. When they get, that's why they can't fix them up. When one leg goes bad and they leave it and it's got to stand on 3 legs, the other 3 legs go bad by the time it gets a good one back.
Let's
So
not go
you've got to
there.
watch out for that.
Let's not go there.
No. For any of you who haven't heard, I broke my femur on the 10th of April. Falling across the road, all the other heavy walking, long distance trekking I've done, and I go and cross the road and break my leg.
Oh, bad luck, Margaret.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
We'll get
Why,
there.
why did Margaret cross the road?
You know when they say to people, "Oh, have a good time, break a leg." Oh,
Yeah.
I did.
Good. Thanks, Margaret.
Well,
was
she
great.
lives at Heathcote there, and the pub's on the other side of the road.
Oh,
Why
you
else would
know
you
that,
cross the
don't
road?
you, Ross? Yes. Ross.
That'd be the answer for sure. Now we might invite our next performers. I'll just read out a few names, and people can tell me if they're ready to go. Just put Lane can see you on the screen. So we've got Margaret Walters, Seamus Gill, Chris Maltby, Jean and Tony, Shiny Bum Singers, Jason Roweth and family, Evan Matheson. That was Margaret. So we've got Mary Jane Field, Peter Hicks, John Turbridge, Bruce Watson, Graham Wood, and that's all I got on my list at the moment. So if anybody's ready to go.
Yeah, you can put me down to do a poem, maybe.
Great. That'll be great.
Or a small, short ones, a couple of short
You
ones.
ready to go now?
Oh, I could.
Good. That'd be great. Big Russ.
And then
All right.
Chris and I could go after that. We're doing a duo.
That's
Margaret
Margaret Walters.
Walters, Margaret and Chris.
Excellent. Thanks, Margaret.
All right. Well, yeah, I think I'm ready to go.
Thanks, Russ. Sorry, just to interject, after Chris and Margaret, could we get Colleen, if Colleen wants to go after them? Yep, there we go. Thank you.
Well, I'm like John in a lot of ways, is that after May the 21st, most of my poetry became redundant. And that was the same thing that Dale said about Joe Jockey Peterson. And I remember John saying to me that, you know, it was the greatest loss. He was almost in tears when Joe Jockey Peterson got done. Mainly because a lot of his songs suddenly you thought, well, you know, okay, you sing a song about Joe Jockey Peterson. Now you have to do it at a historical convention. Anyway, ScoMo did me in. This is one I wrote afterwards, just a limerick. A ScoMo, once the leader of the land, played the uke badly, which no one could stand. So when he was sacked, said, I'll get a new act and I'll play in Dale Dengate's new band. And Dale, if you do take him on, you won't get a gig down here in the Illawarra, I can tell you. This was another one I wrote just before he went in. ScoMo, when running uphill, fell over and lay there until they called a doctor who said, I can't tell if he's dead, but I am certain that he's lying still. Now this one was, I was a bit taken by the teal, you see, because what the teals didn't tell you, they kept pretending it was a colour. It's a bloody duck. The chestnut teal is a duck. It's a dabbling duck found in Australia. It is protected under the National Parks and Wildlife Act of 1974. So I wrote this. I asked Josh Frydenberg, how does it feel to be knocked off your perch by a low-flying teal? He said, I despair, but it could be much worse. I could be the subject of Big Russ's bad verse. And you imagine if they had to call themselves ducks, what a field day rhyming poets would have had with that word. What else have I got here? Oh, this is an old one, just dragging out. The table tennis champ. I watched a Chinese bloke play table tennis up in where I was stopping at a caravan park somewhere up in Queensland, Townsville, I think. A table, and he was there and he was pretty good. A table tennis champ from Hong Kong said his treatment was awfully wrong. For breaking wind on the side, he was disqualified for not making a ping, but a pong. And I was watching the ping pong players or table tennis players on the Commonwealth Games, and Jesus, they were bloody good. Okay, one more. Will I do one more? All right. Oh, this is one I wrote when I was in Britain, and we were in, I think it was somewhere down the South Coast. I'll think of the place in a minute. And we were on a bus tour. We were sitting up there, and the guide was waxing lyrical about all the things we were passing, and they were nearly all pubs. They all had sort of names, and he knew a little bit about them and so forth. We were on a bus in Britain on a guided tour of town, and the guide was waxing lyrical of the buildings all around. Up ahead, we pass a Tudor pub. They've been serving beer since then. On the left, we pass the Georgian Arms and the famous Lion's Den. The pub we're passing on the right is called the Volunteer. He paused for breath and asked, is that a question that I hear? From down the back, a voice spoke out. It was a plaintive cry. It had an Aussie accent and just asked one question. Why? Anyway, that was just one I wrote then. And, I did get off the bus, by the way, and I tried the pubs out and they were all good.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
It was down on the South Coast somewhere, I think it was then.
Thanks for that endorsement. Very good. Okay. I think we've got Margaret Walters up next. Is that right? Margaret and Chris?
I haven't got much of a voice, so I'm just going to do some harmonies while Chris leads.
We're going to do
Good on you,
Carlingford
Margie.
because we like doing that.
That's great.
Find a key, Mark.
Oh, no, you're
Yeah, I
leading.
know. Clear my throat now.
Yeah.
Oh, when I was a boy in Carlingford, full 50 years ago, the eucalypts grew straight and tall, and the creeks did sweetly flow. But times were hard when the old man died, and the orchard it would not pay. So I left the land for the factory bench, and I'm working there still today. I have earned my bread in the metal shops for 40 years and more. My hands are hard and acid scarred, like the boards on the workshop floor. My soul is sheathed in Kembla steel, and the eyelids have turned to brass. And the orchard's gone, and the apple trees, where the wind whispered through the grass. Oh, the workbench is my altar, where I come to take the host. Copper, brass, and fine sheet steel, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. The sacramental wine of work grows sour upon my tongue. Oh, the fruit was sweet on the apple trees when my brothers and I were young.
Carlingford. Good on you, John.
Well, you're still missing indeed. And
Beautiful, folks. Thank you.
Beautiful
He got
rendition.
the Kembla steel right, because it's going to be out in the ocean just off Port Kembla. Hopefully very soon. They're making a big wind farm out there. Everyone down here, the bosses, the unions, everyone is really excited about it. It's the first time I've ever seen them united.
well, someone think of the birds.
Oh yes, the bloody seagulls. They don't fly out there. There's no chips out there. You've got to go
Okay.
somewhere where people will give you chips.
Thanks again, Margaret and Chris. And we're trying to get in touch with Colleen now. Are you there, Colleen? Colleen Burke with us?
Yep, she's there. I've lost her off the camera, but she said she was ready to go, but she might be having a connection issue.
Okay.
Maybe while we're waiting, Mary Jane, did you want to go?
Mary Jane Field, are you there?
Oh, I've just sent her the unmute request. So you just got to click that button that comes up on your screen, Mary Jane.
There.
Yeah, she
that-
is.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, okay, I'm happy to go. I was gonna just briefly say something about John, because this is in honor of him. And I may have said this before, I'm getting old, I forget things. But it's worth saying again. When I first came to Australia, he was among the people who welcomed me, and I've always appreciated that, and I've always remembered that. That's one of my memories of John. I've gotten to know Dale a bit later, but that was in the very beginning. My name's not Bill, but I did live in Erskineville. My son, who was at Sydney Uni, said, whatever you do, don't buy a house in Erskineville. It's a dump. I'm sure the house is worth millions now, but that's beside the point. I think that Dale and John were looking at a house for one of their kids to help them buy a house in Erskineville, but they decided against it for some reason. Anyway, I miss Erskineville. Too many kids and too many grandkids and too many musical instruments, and so I moved away. But I loved Erskineville. It was gentrified, but it also had some of the old timers there, which was what made it so nice. Anyway, about John, I've chosen to sing a song that is kind of John's style, I think, because it's cheeky and a bit funny, but it's also got some meaning to it. So I thought I would do this one. But I decided to check out some of the words, because I'm not comfortable with some of the original words of the song. Now, but I wanted to check out a place name on Google, as you do. And when I did this, I found out that the words that offended me have now been changed by Cilla Black, who made the song famous. So you'll probably all know this song, and you'll hear some different words, which I feel really good about. Like Margaret, I had an accident last year and I lost my voice, but it's coming back slowly, I hope. Oh, you are a mucky kid, dirty as a dustbin lid. If he finds out the things you did, you'll get told off by your da. You look so lovely lying there, strawberry John tarts all in your hair. In all the world you've not a care, and I have got so many. It's a struggle every day, living on your father's pay. The blighter drinks it all away and leaves me without any. Oh, you have your father's nose, so crimson in the dark it glows. If you're not asleep when the boozers close, you'll get told off by your da. One day we'll make a great big splash when Lotto Littlewoods provides the cash. We'll buy a house in Naughty Ash and buy your da a brewery. No, you have no silver spoon, but better days are coming soon. Our Nellie's working at the loom, and she gets paid on Friday. Oh, you have your father's face. You're growing up a real hard case, but in all the world, no one can take your place. Go fast asleep for Mummy. Go fast asleep for Mummy.
Thanks for reminding me of that one, Mary Jane. Used to sing that about 30 years ago.
I know, but I'm so glad the belt, you get a belt for you from your da has been changed, but only recently.
Right, yeah.
Beautiful.
But it tells of its time.
Not a belt from your dad.
No, just get told off. That was Cilla Black who made that change.
Who did you say wrote that, Mary Jane?
I've got the name somewhere, some guy, Stephen or somebody with an S.
Some guy.
Some guy.
That
but
old
Cilla
guy,
Black
yeah.
made it famous. I can look it up, but I don't know how to do chat.
No, don't worry. We can find it. That's a great song. I've never heard that. It's beautiful.
I feel much more comfortable singing it now.
I'm sure us boys that got belted by their dad wouldn't have minded left in there.
Well, what I did was I left it in the first verse and then I cut out the second verse. And then now we've all changed.
A bit each way. Very good. John would approve, a bit each way.
Yeah, definitely a bet.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Thanks, Mary Jane. Just jumping in to say I can see Colleen's back again.
Great.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, welcome, Colleen. Yep.
Okay, so I'm doing a poem I wrote recently in memory of John, in jail and the family. It's called An Enticing Sound. Walking in the city or near Railway Square, the clarity of tin whistle splices air. I follow the seductive sound to find you, but you're no longer there, busking on city corners or in Central Railway's endless tunnel. Whenever I heard it, no matter how faint, I'd follow the music until I tracked you down. You made a mitt around Paddy's Day, playing requested tunes. Kelly, the boy from Killarn, the foggy dew, or the wearing of the green. In quiet corners, we often sang Irish rebel songs, forgotten or forbidden now. It's Paddy's Day again, and in the dreary, saturated weather, I hear a jig, reel, or haunting melody wafting through the air, a tantalising illusion because you've been dead for several long years. Recently, meandering through the local historical cemetery with my daughter, I showed her where some of your ashes were scattered by Dale. She was amazed, but we both smiled, remembering the good times, a different era. And she told me that she and her friends had engraved their names on the bamboo in the wild grove near the majestic autumn bay fig tree. Bridie plays her dad's fiddle, who died when she was 7. A sudden death difficult to cope with and comprehend at that age or any age. When she was born, you wrote a poem especially for her, decorating the handmade card with wattle blossoms glowing bright, golden, a fitting welcome for our daughter. And now wattle blooms outside the local car park, transforming. The tin whistle soars, twining around expansive southern skies, stoggy autumnal air, vivid with life and memories. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Dale.
Colleen.
Yeah,
I
that's
often
very-
wonder what John Dengate would have done now, given the fact that nobody's got any cash. I did offer him a check once, and his language was but most uninviting as a paying
They'd
game.
probably be giving him food or something. I always thought he was starving to death. Dale told
Yeah.
me.
But nobody's got cash. You've got to pay with a card. Everywhere you go, you've got to pay with a card. And I don't know how buskers get on. I was just wondering, someone might know.
Well, I can enlighten you a little bit, Big Russ. I've got a friend who sells the Big Issue, and the poor old Big Issue workers, unless they know how to use their smartphones to get people to pay on the phone, so many people say to them, sorry, I haven't got any cash. So I'm
Yeah.
sure it's the same with buskers. Yeah, it's a pretty sad setup, isn't it?
I had a woman down the street here in Shell Harbour approached me. This is about 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, and said, did I have any money, because she had to catch the bus and she needed $2.50, I think it was the bus. And I went through my pocket. I didn't have any cash. I'd just been to the coffee shop where I paid with a card. And my wife was with me. I said, have you got any cash? And she opened a purse. All she had was cards. I said, oh, I found $1, and I gave her $1. I said, well, look, that's all I've got. I haven't got any more cash. I said, you're going to have trouble getting cash out of people. Anyway, I think she got on the bus and the bus driver let her on. But
Well,
I thought this is a real problem for both.
the buses in Sydney, the buses in Sydney, you've got to have a card. You can't pay with cash in Sydney.
Oh, you
so-
can't pay cash. You can
No,
still pay
all
cash.
Exactly.
cards.
Exactly. You got to
All
have your
cards.
Opal card.
That's
Oh,
right.
right.
Anyway, just thanks again, Colleen. It was very emotive, that one. Brought a lot back
Yeah.
about Johnny. Yeah, great work. All right, now on my list, I've got Seamus Gill. Is Seamus with us?
Yep, Seamus is there. You ready to go, my friend? And he's got the beautiful painting there being held up by Catherine.
Yeah.
Just press the ask to unmute button there, guys, if you want to unmute.
Hello, can you?
Yeah,
So Kate is going to just do a short introduction, and this is the Big Ben Pie. This is a commercial break. When I was just a young lad, I was silly as can be. My father calls me over, and this he says to me, if you want the light of wisdom to glisten in your eye, you'll have to cheer for Toohe's beer and eat pies. All among the gravy, all among the crust. Show a little faith, boys, show a little trust. I can eat a respectable pally myself whenever I like to try, and I'm known from here to Blacktown as the Big Ben Pie. I've bathed myself in gravy when the centre starts to sag. I wash them down with leashes and with cans of Toohe's flag. Cast your eyes upon me strides, you still can see the stains. Pass me the tomato sauce, here we go again. All among the gravy, all among. Show a little faith, boys, show a little trust. I can eat a respectable pie myself whenever I like. And I'm known from here to Blacktown as the Big Ben Pie. I've had them stony cold, I've eaten them scalding hot. I've eaten them on the cricket ground, sitting on me blot. I've raised me pie with triumph when the Tigers led 10-0, and I've thrown them at the Coppers on the scoreboard hill. all among the gravy, all among the crust. Show a little faith, boys, show a little trust. I can eat a respectable curry myself whenever I like to try, and I'm known from here to Blackdown as the Big Ben Pie.
Beautiful.
Was that a 2 years old or a Guinness?
That's a Guinness, actually, yeah.
On your Seamus.
Yes,
Seamus,
I've shared the occasional Guinness with John as well. Yeah.
Just one or two.
Yeah, just one or two, yes. Yeah.
That's right. No, beautiful stuff. Thanks very much. And now I think we've got Chris Maltby coming up now. Is Chris with us?
No, I think, Chris, were you just doing that one song before, were you?
Hang on. Yeah, that was right. I've already done my one with Marg, so
Well,
okay.
you got another one later if you want.
He's got other ones if
Yeah.
you want, but get other people in if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
okay.
Haven't done anything yet.
Okay, great. Now, what about Jean and Tony?
Can't see a Jean and Tony yet, unless
Is that your Jean? Is that your Jean with somebody else?
No. But I can see, whoop, sorry, just something jumping around there. What about, oh, there she is, Jean Smith. Sorry, Jean, I didn't see you before. I'm just going to add you in the spotlight. So this is Jean and Tony. And
Hello, Jean and Tony.
And I'm just going to pop, a thing's going to pop up on your screen, guys, and then you just got to click it.
How's
There
that?
you go.
Now we can hear you.
That's
How you
it.
going?
Well, here we are in beautiful Wiradjuri country, beautiful cold Wiradjuri country at the moment. I want to thank both Elborns there for their great organising, and say hello to all the Dengates. I think Sean must have channeled John for that song he did. It was really nice.
Yes, indeed.
Now, just a little bit of shameless self-promotion here. I have to tell you, I saw that Mike Martin has sent an apology and he's going to dedicate his song, The Busker's Lament, to John. Well, if you go to soundcloud.com and you search The Busker's Lament, you'll get my version of A Busker's Lament. And surprisingly, I don't know why, but about half the plays it's ever had are in Ukraine. Now, this happened well before Ukraine hit the news, but anyway, might be something in it. One little thing about this song is that it's about a trip to Lidcombe on the train, and if you're heading west from Central, the last stop is, of course, Flemington. So it would be annoying to have to wait at Flemington and be able to see the Lidcombe platform probably up ahead. In my youth, and I'm sure there are lots of people there younger than I am, so they mightn't remember this, but in our day, there was a big cattle and sheep yard at Flemington. All the stock used to come in on the train, it unloaded there, and most of them, I think, would wind up at the Homebush Abattoir. Well, anyway, because of that, instead of Flemington, we disrespectful children used to call it Smellington. Anyway, this is a song that features Flemington and Lidcombe. You may talk of Matthew Flinders, you may talk Captain Sturt, you may rave about explorers till your throat begins to hurt. I know they crossed the oceans and travelled rough terrain, but none of them could face a trip to Lidcombe on the train. No, none of them could face a trip to Lidcombe on the train. 'Twas a blazing day in January 1982. They were praying for a southerly from Lithgow to the Loo. I cooked from Glebe to Central like a lobster or a crab. Paid the sweating taxi driver and alighted from the cab. Paid the sweating taxi driver and alighted from the cab. Which platform do I need? There seems to be some doubt. But there's an indicator there to help you out, and a fellow with a microphone dispensing wisdom free. But he and the indicator simply don't agree. No, he and the indicator simply don't agree. Well, the train crawls out of Central to a soft ironic cheer.
Hey!
I'd sell me mother's wedding ring for half a glass of beer. I'm hot and in the horrors, and me thirst is looming large, and fear that every pub we pass is only a mirage. I fear that every pub we pass is only a mirage. Faces to the westward, we are sizzling on the grill. We have to stop for half an hour at Summer Bloody Hill. We stop and start like Murphy's cart, me temper's getting sour. At Flemington we have to wait another half an hour. At Flemington we have to wait another half an hour. I stagger out at Lidcombe contemplating suicide. Me compass it has melted and me camels they have died. My fevered brain surrounds the train with breweries and stills, and bleaching on the platform are the bones of Burke and Wills, and bleaching on the platform are the bones of Burke and Wills. You may talk of Matthew Flinders, you can talk of Captain Sturt, you can rave about explorers till your throat begins to hurt. I know they crossed the oceans and travelled rough terrain, but none of them could face a trip to Lidcombe on the train. No, none of them could face a trip to Lidcombe on the train.
Too bloody right.
That's another great song. Thanks, Jean and Tony. That's the other one sung much more often. It's great to hear that one again, of John's train songs. Beautiful. Where are you guys from? Where are you at?
Bathurst.
Bathurst. Ah, beautiful. I have a nephew is a surgeon in Bathurst in the hospital there. Look him up. He's another Elborn.
I think I know your niece actually.
Yeah, Bridget.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. Bridget's there as well. That's right. Yeah.
Did John have a brother there?
He
John.
did.
He had, yeah.
He died before John.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, thanks very much, guys. And I think we've got, well, on my list, we've got the Shiny Bum Singers. Is that right? No? Anybody else want to start now?
No, I've got Chris ready to go. Chris Clark.
Chris
just
Clark,
got his,
okay.
just saw his hand going there. He looks like he's coming from the mountains or in a beautiful bush.
Oh, great.
There he is.
Yeah, looks like it. It's just the view from my backyard.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, from cool and rainy Canberra at the moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Canberra. Good on you, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Look, one of the things that impressed me about John was the sharpness of his critical pen when he really wanted to have a go at someone. And so I tried to channel a bit of that when I wrote a couple of raps, one for Trump and one for Putin. And I wrote raps because I hate rap music, and therefore it put me in just the right mood to write something. So this is the one for Putin, which was actually written sort of earlier on in the process, when it didn't get even quite as nasty as it has later on. And I call it rapacious. He thinks he's rootin' tootin' in some western showdown shooting. in some movie martial arty where he's hero and the smarty, but he's just a playground bully in his mother knitted woolly, where he knows the other kids wouldn't play with him for quids. He's a loney, he's a phony in a world of his baloney. He's a blighter, he's a skiter, he's a bothered by his heiter. He's an all consumed by frighter, he's a smaller people fighter. In his fantasy recruiting others who will do the looting, who'll be hooting and saluting when he comes to put the boot in. Payback plotted, fear besotted, with the ink of anger blotted, filled with rancour, rank and rotten, ill-conceived and ill-begotten. Now he sits there all alone on his vast and empty throne, in his vast and empty rooms where he dreams up all his dooms, where the splendours of the stars fence him in like iron bars, where no others dare come near him, like contagion they all fear him, where he sits in isolation thinking he's the Russian nation, while they loathe him and despise him, though they have no means to prize him from the cushion's gold and satin that he's growing mad and fat in. Till all truth he is disputing, and all sense and law refuting, so that if we let him win, if he binds us with his spin, then it doesn't take much brains to see we are the next Ukraines, that all the world is not too spacious for an ego that capacious. For his fighter planes and tanks are just the self-abusing wanks of the impotent and scared, who to love have never dared, never known that soul embrace, only for him of all his race, never looked into the eyes of one who'll miss him if he dies.
Don't you go to Moscow, mate, or you know where you'll end up.
Beautiful, Chris.
You recite that at the Kremlin. We know where you'll spend the rest of your life if you don't take poison.
It will be worth it.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Very good.
Excellent words, Chris. Good.
Yeah, great stuff, Chris.
Very powerful. Thanks, mate. Thanks very much. Okay. Chris Clark, get ASIO onto Chris. Just make a little note here. Just get ASIO. Right. Now, who have we got next that wants to commit suicide on the screen besides me?
We're here any time. There's no hurry, but we'll hear from
G'day,
you.
Jason and Chloe.
Yeah.
How you going?
Good. How are you?
Good, yeah.
Running a tight ship there, mate. It's great.
Yeah,
we go.
all over it. Over it, mate.
If you guys want to take it away, that'd be awesome.
Sure. So we are also in Wiradjuri country. We're in Spring Grove, as it used to be, Millthorpe as it is now. And it's not too cold. It's a little rainy, as it has been. A long way to the north and west of here is the wonderful town of Tibooburra in the corner country. And some time ago, John and his dad Norm, some of you will know this story, watching the Idiot Box, and the ABC weather person referred to the northwestern New South Wales town of Tibooburra, sort of some all too common assault to the place, and Norm's reaction sparked this particular poem. If the weather person's talking about Tibooburra at the moment, I hope they're warning people not to go, because it's pretty slippery out there at the moment, but a bit wet. I happen to know John loved this Schottish as much as we do too, so we'll see if we can set it to the Harry Axford Schottish. Okay. My father worked in a factory, and the sheet steel came from BHP. From a rolling mill near the Hunter's Mouth, or a Kembla furnace further south. The steel was all of the finest grade, and every inch was Australian made. Copper and bronze he shaped and wrought. The skills he possessed could not be bought. To his trade and his union he was true. Well, that was the life my father knew. And when his faults in heaven the angels weighed, they found they were all Australian made. Now the old stone GPO still stands, displaying the craft of my father's hands. I gaze with pride, my heart responds when I see those fittings shaped in bronze. My father's work to the world displayed, and every ounce was Australian made. through depression and war. He remained unbowed. He was kind, but he was fiercely proud. Cant and privilege he despised. He was not a man to be patronised. He was not religious. He never prayed. His ethics were all Australian made. His speech had the twang of the gum tree vow. He watched TV with a brooding scowl. When the name of a town was mispronounced, he expressed disdain like a lion he pounced. His indignation was so keen, he threw his shoe at the TV screen. If we beat the Palms in a cricket test, joy would reign and our home was blessed. But if we lost, at the wall he'd stare, and we all felt touched by his dark despair. In his youth he had wielded the willow blade, and the runs he scored were Australian made. The only time my father cried was the night when old Ben Chifley died. When they buried Ben and the Dead March played, and my father's grief was Australian made. Now my father's dead, as are his mates, with their hopes and fears, with their loves and hates. Different values now prevail. What was sacrosanct now is up for sale. For the global market requires free trade. Not me, mate. Yeah, I'm Australian made.
You haven't got a gig coming up at Canawindra, have you?
Yeah. You're not in Bully at the moment, are you?
They're still up to it on the ABC. I heard them talk about Wyangala Dam a few weeks ago.
Oh, Wyangala, yeah. That is high art.
if you live down here, you're only a local. If you live at Slaba. Yeah,
Slaba.
Or Rilla. Rilla is
Rilla.
Rilla. Rilla. You got to be Rilla. And anyone that comes in and calls it Shell Harbour or Warilla, they're just regarded as bloody blow-ins.
That's right. Thanks, Chloe and Jason. Beautiful.
Lovely to see you all.
Yeah, so good to
Beautiful
see
rendition.
you.
Yeah. Hope you're all well out there.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're good.
That's great. Now I've got on my list. I've got a few more here. If anyone wants to put their hand up, got Evan Matheson. I can see you, Evan, on the top there. Are you ready to go, mate?
Okay, I've just sent you the little unmute. You just click on the screen.
Gotcha.
There he is.
Am I through?
Yeah, you're through. Have you been jamming along with your beautiful little lute?
Well, what else would I do?
Is that a dulcimer I see before me?
No, it's an auto harp.
Ah, okay.
And can you hear that?
Yeah.
Beautiful sound. Yeah, beautiful.
Lovely. I'm going to go back to one of John's Joe Bielke-Peterson songs, because that's about when I first got to meet John. And he used to come up particularly to the festivals when we were shifting from Mullaney across to Woodford. And as Dale will probably remember, he used to be a regular visitor to Queensland to the Woodford Festival at various times through the year, and various things they had through the year. And John would seem to turn up like a bad penny. Very welcome. But I remember his disgust, as someone said earlier, when Joe Bielke-Peterson finally exited the government in Queensland, and he felt like half his good work had been taken out from under him. It's a long way to Connemara, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Connemara, on the river Warrego. Oh, I know there's been a gerrymander, and I know it isn't fair, but I have to rely on Connemara. They vote for me there.
Woohoo!
Bjelke Peterson, he's a genius, it's true. Mr. Bjelke Peterson makes 5 volts equal 2. He subdivides the whole electorate, subtracts Anderner's twins, then he multiplies the rural faction, and that's how he wins. It's a long way to Connemara, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Connemara, on the river Warrego. I know there's been a gerrymander, and I know it isn't fair, but I have to rely on Connemara. They vote for me there. Here is your ticket to the Senate flow. That's guile, guile, guile. Pick up your portmanteau and pumpkin scones and go step round the pile. Tell the mob down in Canberra was me who waltzed you down the aisle. So here is your nepotistic ticket flow. It's horses, horses, horses. Oh,
pack up your trouble.
Roman, so the history textbooks say. Put his horse into the Senate, where it always voted nay. Yes, he did. And a horse is still considered useful on the river Warrego. So the ancient Romans got an old grey mare, and Queensland got flow. It's a long way to Connemara, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Connemara, on the river Warrego. I know there's been a gerrymander, I know it isn't fair, but I had to rely on Connemara. They vote for me there.
Great effort.
Yay.
Yeah, that's a great song. Yeah,
So good.
Yes,
all the Bush bands played that.
the one thing we don't miss is Joe's presence, but we do miss John's songs.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone can confirm this, but I'm pretty sure John told me once after that song that he'd researched it and Connemara actually voted Labor.
It probably did, but it rhymed so terribly well.
Do you know that, Dale? Is that true? Was that true, Dale? Oh, you're muted, yeah. Was it true that...
Probably the last bastion of rural workers.
You've got to be muted here because they're very noisy. Look, I'm not sure about that, but I do remember John saying he had to get the rhythm of Connemara and on a river, the river on Warrego. So it had to be the town and the river had to fit in the rhythm and the rhyme. So
poetic license.
Yes. The other small thing I might actually share with you was one night at one of the Jamboree festivals, Lynn and I had a case of have a sleep in the afternoon, and it was about 1 or 2 in the morning or something, and there was still a bit of activity around the site, as there sometimes was, and I think the Ananda Marga lot had a food concession there, and we ran into John somewhere near it, and he was looking slightly bewildered and a bit. And he said, he said, I've just written a song. He said, no, he said, come over here. And he sat us down and he started singing I Can't Abide. And Lynn said to him, can I get a copy of the words? And he said, might write it down. It'd be a good idea.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that song, Evan, because he was at my place one day and he said, I said, mate, I want a copy of that. You know, it had all these horrible bloody Fraser government. I'm not sure it was Fraser. It might have been, it was one of them anyway, one of those ministers, Howards or Frasers. And he said, I'll record it for you. And I said, yeah, where are you going to record it? He said, toilet. And because apparently the bathroom and the toilet is acoustically the best place in your house. And so he sat in just out here on me dunny and recorded it for me.
I think that's a little bit too much information, Big Russ.
Well, I don't think he did anything else on the dunny except record music.
Okay.
As far as we're concerned, the next morning John turned up with a handwritten version of I Can't Abide, and we still have it.
Oh, good on you. That's a collector's item now, mate.
I think I've still got the recording of it.
Yeah. Hey, Evan, just got a question. You said that's an auto harp. You seem to be doing a lot of manual work there.
That's just the way I play it. That's just the way I play it. And I build them to be played like that.
And can you tell me why it's called an auto harp then, if it's manual?
Technically, it should be called a boarded zither, but auto harp when the instrument was first made back before the early 1900s, it was trademarked auto harp, and the trademark stuck, and the original name didn't. So. It's just become common usage now.
Well, that's what Waltzing Matilda was recorded on, wasn't it?
That's correct. It was that's correct. She had a little 5-bar one, I think, up at Dagworth Station, and she and Banjo Patterson got together, and the tune was actually a version of Bonnie Wood of Craigie Lee. I think that Les Bolsh in Warrnambool had written for the pipe, not the pipe band, the brass band, and she'd heard it at the Warrnambool races because her family's holdings were down there, and she went up to visit her brother who had some of these newly opened places up around Longreach, and the rest is history, of course. Winton, yes, beg your pardon. And the rest is sort of history. But yes, it was an auto harp. The National Library has eventually recognised that.
I've got to say to you, Evan, that you are responsible for an infestation of auto harps down here in the Illawarra.
No, it wasn't my doing. Nothing to do with me.
I think it had something to do with you. They all say it was you know what Waltzing Matilda was recorded on. Our secretary of the Illawarra Folk Club, Graham Morrison, he picked it up somewhere and he's been playing it for 10 years. And of course, up at Canawindra, you've got Dennis McKay.
Yes.
You know Dennis?
Yes.
The most addicted auto harp player I've ever run across.
I would agree.
Excuse me, Big Russ, did you say someone's name was Morrison?
Yeah.
Okay, can you mute him, please, Lane?
Well done, thank you.
No more of that.
I wanted to say something about auto harps because I used to use one in my children's program, and I don't know how you do it, but it's hell to keep in tune.
No, it's not. If they're built right, they will stay basically in tune. And if you look down the bottom of that, it doesn't have just an anchor there. It's got little tuners on the bottom, and it's real easy.
Oh yeah, you could tune it, but it wouldn't stay in tune.
Oh no, good ones should stay in tune.
That wasn't a good one then.
I haven't
it's
touched
the same
this.
as spoons.
Yeah, that's right. Spoons, they're excellent.
Unless they're really good, they won't stay in tune. Hello, Lockie. Wake up, Lockie. I can see you.
All right, enough of me. Thank you.
Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, Evan. Mate. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Evan.
Okay, now I've got Peter Hicks on my list. Is Peter with us?
Yep, there he is. Peter, there you go.
Ready to go, Pete?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
mate.
Okay, yeah, well, I think it's great to catch up and speaking to you from the land of the Muanina people and in Tassie.
Kathy.
And
Good to see you, Pete.
yeah, no, it's great to catch up with everyone. It's been a wee while. Thinking about all those Queensland references. I nearly didn't make to the teaching profession because in my kind of last couple of months of my teaching degree, I went out with Triple Z and became a little Triple Z journalist and managed to watch the Queensland police beating up the Sikh web workers. And that was a little bit of a taste of what the job person was really about. And so it was really great to, get to Sydney finally and hear John's songs. And it was good to see somebody taking the piss out of them. So and a few years into my Sydney journey, we did a little album called Union is Strength. It was a tribute for the Weeper miners who were on strike at the time in the early mid 90s. And John contributed this song, which he'd sung with Chris Kempster, to the album. And you can Google it, and the first thing that you'll find is a version by Jason and Chloe, live at the National. Pretty rip-roaring version too, I might say. So anyway, here's a little bit of Freedoms on the Wallaby, and please sing along with the chorus. Australia's a big country and freedom's humping bluey. Freedom's on the Wallaby, don't you hear a cooey? She's just begun to boomerang, she'll knock the tyrant silly. She's gonna light another fire and boil another billy. Our fathers toiled for bitter bread while loafers thrive beside them, but food to eat and clothes to wear their native land denied them. And so they left the native land in spite of their devotion, and so they came, or if they stole, was sent across the ocean. Australia's a big country and freedom's up and bluey. Freedom's on the Wallaby, don't you hear a cooey? She's just begun to boomerang, she'll knock the tyrant silly. She's gonna light another fire and boil another billy. Then freedom couldn't stand the glare of royalty's regalia. She left the loafers where they were and came out to Australia. But now across the mighty main the chains have come to bind her. She little thought to see again the wrong she left behind her. Australia's a big country and freedom's humping bluey. Oh, freedom's on the Wallaby, oh, don't you hear a cooey? She's just begun to boomerang, she'll knock the tyrant silly. She's gonna light another fire and boil another billy. Our parents toiled to make a home, hard grubbing 'twas and clearing. They wasn't troubled much by laws when they was pioneering. But now that we have made this land a garden full of promise, all greed must crook his dirty hand and come to take it from us. So we must fly a rebel flag as others did before us, and we must sing a rebel song and join the rebel chorus. We'll make the tyrants feel the sting of those that they would throttle. They needn't say the fault is ours, if blood should stain the water.
Yeah, that's a beauty, Pete. Thanks very much.
Can I tell a story about Peter Hicks?
That was great.
Can you tell a story?
Yeah, he probably doesn't know this, but I've been trying to clean up my study with no success whatsoever. And I've got all the records of the Illawarra Folk Club for the last 40 years, which is right from the beginning, basically. And Peter used to play there regularly, as did John, of course. There were two people we had at our folk festival, just as an aside, who never had to apply to come. And one was Alan Scott, and when Alan died, it was John. And they never had to apply. But we were having our concerts twice a month at the tennis club in Wollongong, and we decided we haven't had Peter Hicks for a while. We'd better ring him up. And we had his phone number and address, and we rang the number, and this complete stranger answered the phone. And we said, "Oh, we're looking for Peter Hicks." He said, he doesn't live here anymore. We said, "Do you know where he is?" He said, "No." I said, do you know him? And he said, "No." I said, "Oh, I better explain who we are. You know, we're the Illawarra Folk Club, and we're looking for Peter's a performer, wonderful musician and writer of great songs, and we're looking to put him on." I said, "You wouldn't know the Illawarra Folk Club?" He said, "Yes, I do. I've played there." And I said, "Bloody hell." I said, "Who are you?" And it turned out it was a bloke called Phil Dye. I don't know, did you ever meet him, Peter? Phil was the lead singer in the Moonshiners, which was a big bush band, one of the first bush bands down in Illawarra. And anyway, so we got him to come down and play too, as well as you. And he disappeared. And what made me think of it was just last week, he turned up again in the Illawarra. He'd moved back down from up where were you living, at Newtown or somewhere, wasn't it, Peter?
I used to be in Petersham.
Petersham, that's where it was, yeah. Yeah, well, he'd bought the house you were living in, I think.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, he's turned up back here. He's living back down here at Corrimal or somewhere now. And I located him, and we put him on in the mall. And he did a 2-hour session in the mall, and he hasn't lost it, you'd be pleased to know. But I couldn't believe it when I'm reading this stuff and saying, I didn't remember all this, and then I recorded it all for some reason. I'd written it all down. So there you are, and we're waiting for you to come back up because we want you again. But not much point in me ringing up bloody Petersham. It's not there.
Russ, I do remember Phil Dye, and I'm interested. Is he still around? That's interesting.
Yeah. Look, I tell you what, we had a concert last Sunday called the Russell Concert, where you had to be a Russell to play, and he was there, him and his partner. He's with it. He's got a group now. Him and his partner are a group called the Baldricks. I got confused and called them the Ball Pricks, but they are in fact the Baldricks, and I'm going to get him again to play at the club. Yeah, he's very good, and he was terrific in the mall. He really got the people involved going past, and he got all these little kids whose parents stopped, and the little preschoolers. And when he saw what he had there, standing outside, standing on the edge, he started playing "Oh, MacDonald Had a Farm" and involving the kids, and pointing at the kid and saying, and the kid would say, "Cow," and "What's a cow do? Moo moo." It was just something that we should have been doing in the mall to get people involved, and he was great. So there you are. That all came about because, in a lot of ways, because Peter moved out of his house in Petersham and went to Tasmania.
Thanks,
So
Big
there
Russ.
was the story, Peter.
Yeah, that was a story indeed. Thanks, Peter. I'm not sure who we've got up next. We'll try.
Actually,
John
sorry. Whoop, whoop. Did you say John Schumann?
Did someone say John Schumann?
Although you just said John Schumann. That'd be pretty special. Maybe next year. I was just going to say, if someone's not ready right now, I might share one of the videos I received. I'm going to give it a go. I had a couple of problems putting these through, but we'll see how we go. Just bear with me one moment. So this one's going to be from Doug Jenner. So Dougie Jenner's back home in the UK, and unfortunately he was on his way the same time as this meeting. He was on his way to France somewhere. So he sent us this video so we could enjoy it in the meantime. I'm just going to see if I'll ask if you can see this on the screen in just a moment. Can everyone see Doug here at the moment?
Yes, in a small version.
That's all right. I'll just make it bigger. Okay, how's that?
Yep, that's full screen.
All right, let's give it a go.
Good work, Lanny.
Just yell out if you can't hear anything. Otherwise, here he is.
No sound yet.
No
Yeah,
sound.
there's something wrong with the tech here, Lainey.
Yeah, okay, I think it's
Yeah.
the sound here. One second. Bear with me one moment. Sorry, guys. Look, it looks like Doug's waiting too. See, that was good timing. All right. We'll come back to that. Sorry, we'll just get back to the
Okay, I can do a commercial break while you're waiting.
Yeah, you want to do your commercial break while I test this out?
Yeah, I hope people can see this quite clearly, or sort of clearly. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, would remember Carl Lyon, who wrote the comic strip Wally and the Major. Anybody remember Wally and the Major? Doesn't matter. I can't hear. That's okay. Just for people's.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
I got this. This is an actual original drawing of Carl Lyons that he used to produce for the paper, and then they'd reduce this down, obviously, for the little comic strip that you'd see in the paper on a Sunday, wherever he was in the paper. But it's from a bookshop in Earlwood, and he's the nephew of Carl Lyon, who passed away, and he's got hundreds of these. And I think they're amazing drawings. A lot of them are PC, suspect, but terrific drawings and a real blast from the past, an original drawing. And anyway, if you want one of these, go to the little secondhand bookshop in Earlwood in Sydney. He's got a stack of them, all different, obviously. Yeah, that's just a sample of it. Anyone remember Carl Lyon?
I actually remember Wally and the Major.
Yeah.
I think you got a few hands up there.
Yeah, good. How you going?
So I'm still testing. I'm still testing. No, I'm still testing. So maybe if we could go over to, I think, Jill and Bruce. Bruce Watson, were you wanting to do a song?
Watch out for Jill. She does dirty limericks.
That would be good too.
Yep, we're here. Jill hasn't written a limerick, but she might write one while I'm doing my song.
Oh, great.
Good on you. Thanks, Jill and Bruce. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure. This is, I think, the third one of these since you started doing them on Zoom. We're from Melbourne on Wurundjeri country. I was actually going to do a totally different song, but after Evan did his thing about the Long Way to Cunnamulla, I thought I might do this. I actually used to perform Long Way to Cunnamulla when I started performing, and John was a really big influence on me.
I need a bit louder.
Sorry, Bruce. It's a bit your volume's a bit low. Is there a way you could turn up your microphone a bit?
There is. Let me just do that.
And you're home again, Bruce, after all your travelling. And Jill.
How's that for volume? How's that
Oh,
for volume?
that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, we've just been travelling across Australia. Actually, we went through a little town called Tibooburra at one stage on our trip. Anyway, John was a huge influence on me as a songwriter in the early days, and I met him many times, and a great admirer of John's. And I used to perform The Long Way to Cunnamulla, and one of the first songs that I ever wrote was a song about Joe Bjelke-Petersen. Now, I haven't done this song since probably 1989, so we'll just see how we go. But I was inspired by Evan doing the Cunnamulla song to do this. It's not actually a parody, it's a parody of Joe Bjelke-Petersen, but it's not a song parody. Anyway, here we go. Don't you worry about that now. You leave things to me, because I know how. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never you mind about my gerrymander. Well, up here in Queensland, we know what's right. We'll give those socialists a jolly good fight. We know just what small government means. That's if you don't count Big Russ Hins. That's Russ Hins, by the way, not Big Russ Hannah. Do take these condom vending machines. Well, we all know what that kind of thing means. It's only commie homos who are going to get AIDS, so we'll protect the people with our midnight raids. Don't you worry about that now. You leave things to me, because I know how. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never you mind about my gerrymander. Well, these hippies up in that day, these hippies, they want to march in the street, but they're so untidy, we want things neat. Well, let them march, let them save the whales. We gotta have someone to put in our jails. I just can't understand that hippie lot. Look, smoking all that marijuana and pot. If they'd stick to pumpkin scones and tea, they'd think more clearly. Just like me, don't you worry about that now. You leave things to me, because I know how. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never you mind about my gerrymander. Those greenies up in that Daintree place. All the things they want, it's just a disgrace. Trees are well and good, but I'll be blowed. There's nothing better than a dirty great road. And that black fella lot out on the reserve. We give them all what they deserve. No, I'm not prejudiced. That's right. Just as long as everybody's white or Japanese. Don't you worry about that now. You leave things to me, because I know how. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never you mind about my gerrymander. Now, some people say my speech is confused, but that's just a lot of my goodness gracious, don't you? But they don't you worry about that now. You leave things to me, because I know how. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never you mind about my gerrymander. Well, I never wanted to be PM. I'll leave all that Canberra nonsense to me. So there's a better way to win power, though. Just declare independence, make myself King Joe. I've got no time for Howard. One's a red, the other's a coward. Just wait till my great plans unfurl, for me and Flo to rule the world. Don't you worry about that now. You leave things to me, because I know how. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never you mind about my gerrymander. This song actually, like John's songs about Joe, got longer and longer as his career got longer, so this is the last one, though. Now, Sir Robert Starks said I had to go. All the best son of Phil Phil's labourer, no. People say I'm too old and I'm a lame duck, but I don't really give a tinker's curse there. Well, I resigned in a bit of a huff. I had to show them that I was tough. But I've got plans further down the road. I'm working on a couple of deals with God. Don't you worry about that now. You leave things to me, because I know how. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never you mind about my gerrymander. Don't you worry. Don't. That's it. I've forgotten how I ended it.
That's very good.
Beautiful.
Great, Bruce.
He's made a comeback today, hasn't he?
Beautiful, Bruce.
Look, George Pete.
My goodness gracious me, that's been a long time since I've done it. Now, Jill's just written a little, you may have seen Jill looking like she wasn't listening to me at all. It's because she was writing a limerick for Russ. So,
Here we go. There is a songwriter called Bruce, whose rhymes are creative and loose. A writer of words both profound and absurd. How he does it, I haven't a clue.
Genius.
That
genius.
is poetic license, that one.
That's beautiful. Thanks, Jill and Bruce.
With regard to J. Jelky Peterson, Queensland's a place of extremes, because it's the only state in Australia, or the only place where a communist was actually elected to Parliament, Fred Patterson. And he was elected on the same time as J. Jelky Peterson. And his famous quote was, "I don't know much about many of these people in here, but I can tell you one thing, there's only two people in Parliament here who will never become Premier." He said, "One's me," he said, "and the other's that goose over there from the National Party." And he pointed to J. Jelky Peterson. So he was right on one thing. wrong on the other.
Good one. Thanks again. Thanks, Jill and Bruce. Lovely stuff. I've got John Tuberty. Is John Tuberty with us still? Any sign of John Tuberty?
John
Tuberty, sorry.
I haven't seen him on here yet, but I think Peter's showing off a T-shirt over there. Let's see if we can make his picture bigger. Oh, here we go. Wait a second. I'm just making it bigger, Peter. Can we see that?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Us, who is it? It's Fred Patterson.
Oh, that's
Fred Patterson. Oh, right.
Oh, there he is. First Communist MP.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lena, just give me a second. Now that we're doing T-shirts, I'll just go and get one.
Oh, okay. I thought that might have been Jack Thompson. Looks like Jack Thompson playing Fred Patterson.
What did Jack Thompson and ScoMo have in common?
Oh, goodness.
And with me.
What was it?
We all went to the same school.
Oh, my goodness.
And
at the same time?
No. Oh no. Jack was in fifth form, I think, when I was in first form.
Wow, eh?
And ScoMo was at least 25 years later.
Wow, that's for the best, at least. What do you got there, Max?
I got a T-shirt, and I think Lockie Dengate will appreciate this one. Are you there, Lockie?
Yeah, he's still there.
And so, what?
Trumpet.
Nope.
Was sorry, Bruce. Peter was holding one up too. What was that, Peter? Your T-shirt.
Mine was Fred Patterson.
Yeah, that's the one we just saw. Yeah.
Peter Hood. Peter Hood made that one, I think.
Yeah, well, they've got a Fred Patterson Society. You're probably in it, Peter, eh?
Oh.
And so Max's one is the dog trumpet. Can you give a bit of info on that?
Yeah, that's their latest single. That's Peter O'Doherty, Reg Mombassa, sometimes Lockie Dengate. That's the new single, and the film clip is fantastic. Talk about marching. It's got all the idiots of the world marching to war. Look it up if you can, dog trumpet, and it's effing idiots.
Right. Okay, so I think I've got
Still can't bring yourself to say it.
I think I've got Doug's video working now, so we're going to give that a go. Thanks for your patience. Okay.
Mine's not disappearing, Laney.
Yep, I'm just about to share it. Just let me know in 1 second if it comes up. Just had to do something a bit different. Can you see that?
It's still small.
How's that?
That's it, full size.
All right, let's give it a go. Nope.
No.
Still no sound?
I heard a dog barking, but I don't think that was Doug.
Sorry. All right, I'll keep fiddling. Sorry, something's gone weird on my computer, of course. So maybe we can jump to... Is Kathy going to share something, Kathy Reitmeister? Or are you just watching today?
I wasn't going to. I was just watching.
Okay, no problem.
And I've got Graham Wood down here too, Lane. You know what is Graham Wood with us?
Yeah, Graham's there. Let's pop you on if you're ready to go. I'll just unmute you.
Hello.
Is that Graham?
Yes, hello, Graham here.
Oh, good, mate. We can hear you now. It's all yours. Yeah.
I've got a poem that I wrote for John, but it's John's story, and I've tried to give it voice. I know that Jason and Chloe will know this story from something that was in the song that they sang earlier. John taught me when I was 10, And when I left the primary school, we fell out of touch naturally. But I met up with him again in about 1980 after I'd run into Dale at a job we both shared on the editorial board of the Independent Teachers Association, and met up with John again, and we're in touch, since 1980, and had a great time together sometimes, and often heard him busking and so on. But this is a song about his poem about his father, who I never met. But I'd like to say hello to Dale and to the Dengate family, and I like John very much, and I've tried to get some of his voice in this poem a little bit. Inevitably it's got mine in there, but I took one of his lines from, I think it was from Bill from Erskineville, which you'll probably recognise. I've turned it around a little bit, and I've tried to get some of John's voice in other parts of the poem. It's about his father making the lights around the GPO in Sydney, and I know that a lot of you will know this story. I've called it The Visit from the Queen, for John Dengate. He slaved away in the factory, my father, working metal reluctantly for an absent queen. Tired of Menzies and the Monica's claptrap, he worked every day at his factory bench in an act of unwelcome homage, hands hard and skilled, scarred with acid, but his heart not in it as he cut and brazed and hammered his way towards the Queen. In Martin Place, his lanterns of bronze survive him, suspended from the colonnade of the GPO. I glance up always as I pass, looking at them, neat and aligned, all the work of his hands alone. Proud of his trade, he knew his skill, my father, and had a way with words as well. I laugh now at what he thought of it all, at the words he muttered in quiet protest to me, to my mother, to his boss as well, and anyone else in earshot during his 8 months of royal toil. What if she doesn't look up? And that's it. I got,
Beautiful.
Have I got another minute or so?
Yeah,
Yes,
go for it.
Certainly.
I got a letter from John, which dated 1st of the 7th, 97. I'd sent him an earlier draft of the poem, and he wrote back to me in 2 stages. But I just wanted to read a couple of paragraphs from it. I wanted him to know that it was his story and I was writing a poem about it, and that he was the voice of the poem, and that I'd sort of pinched and turned around one of his lines. And he just wrote back to me to say, it's a page and a half, but the first paragraphs go, "Dear Graham, I was performing today for a hall full of senior citizens out at Roselands. They evidently loved the material I presented to them. Tunes on the whistle, traditional Aussie songs, a poem and a song of my own, Catastrophe in South London, poem, and Bare-Legged Kate, and a couple of Banjo Patterson poems. I can't believe people will pay me for doing what I love to do so much. Then when I arrived home, I found your letter and the poem you wrote for my dad. What a bloody beauty. Dad would have loved it." And then a little bit later, he was very complimentary about it. A bit later, he says, "I will ring Mum shortly and read it to her. I was at the retirement village where she lives for a performance last week." And at the end of the letter, he comes back and says, "Well, mate, thanks again for the poem. Brackets, I just read it to Mum over the phone and she loved it. If you have any free time away from the demands of your job, give me a call and we'll get together for a yarn and a beer or cup of tea. I'm easy. All the best, John Dengate." And the drawing that many of you will know and which I loved.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
thanks very much. It's been a treat to read it here today and to remember John.
Thanks,
that
Graham. That was lovely.
Beautiful, Graham. Did you say you were one of his students?
Yeah, he taught me at Burnside Central School, or Burnside
Yeah.
Public School, 1964 when I was 10, and I had a great year. He was one of the two really inspiring teachers I had. Another one was in high school.
Yeah.
But he played the guitar, of course, sang Australian folk songs, taught me the recorder, played the tin whistle, and he could sketch. And he loved social studies and history and geography. And one of my memories of him at the time is burning some gum leaves in a lunchbox out on the desk at the front of the class and singing, so that we had the smell of gum leaves as well as the expression.
Beautiful.
And song. And
yeah. Before his
it was
time,
great.
wasn't he?
It was. It was a great year, and I was really happy to run into Dale and then to catch up with John and to stay in touch with Dale and John after about 1980 again.
That's great, Graham. Thanks for sharing that with us, mate. Beautiful.
My pleasure.
Good man. Okay, how are we going with the video, Lainey?
No good. Something odd's happened. So
Okay.
I'm still playing around with it. I've got a video from Doug and I've got a video from Lockie.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to get them to work, but I think we'll just forward John in the meantime.
Okay. For John. For John, did you say?
Well, it's all for John,
For
isn't it?
John, yeah.
Ah, very good.
There's another good sick joke. You can have that one, Big Russ. That's for you.
I saw another one pop up before that I think Jerry Myerson, would you like to share something?
Yeah, sure. This is not a song by John, but I think you could say that Tom Paxton was something of a kindred spirit, so I hope it'll be acceptable if I sing a Tom Paxton song. This is called I Believe I Do. I believe I do, I believe it's true, I believe exactly what they tell me to, and I believe I do, I believe it's true, I'm a simple guy, I believe. Oh, the building inspector came around, and he poked his head inside the door just as the plaster missed his head. Then he smiled and said, well, the building looks quite safe to me, and I believe I do, I believe it's true, I believe exactly what they tell me to, and I believe I do, I believe it's true, I'm a simple guy, I believe. The politician told me just the other day that he really didn't want the job at all, but he would make this sacrifice for me if I would only place my trust in him. And I believe I do, I believe it's true, I believe exactly what they tell me to, and I believe I do, I believe it's true, I'm a simple guy, I believe. And the labor leader told his membership that his limousine was no extravagance, and all his cocktail parties at Miami Beach merely helped him roll the union on. And I believe I do, I believe it's true, I believe exactly what they tell me to, and I believe I do, I believe it's true, I'm a simple guy, I believe. The Commissioner of Public Safety called on the people to support their local cops who never ever use any extra force when a kindly word would do as well. And I believe I do, I believe it's true, I believe exactly what they tell me to, and I believe I do, I believe it's true, I'm a simple guy, I believe I Do by Tom Paxton.
Great one.
It's so bloody true, isn't it?
Yep.
Definitely in the John Dengate vein there, Jerry.
That's beautiful. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you very much.
Great singer-songwriter, wasn't he, Tom Paxton? Great.
Still is, as far as I know.
He's still with us, is he?
He is. He's doesn't
He
tour anymore.
certainly is, and he's just put out a new album in the last month or two.
There you go.
Wow, that's fantastic. Great work. Okay, where are we now, Lane?
I think it might be time for you, sir, to do a song.
Okay. All righty.
That was good, Jerry. I love it. I love Tom Paxton too.
Beautiful.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jerry. I just wanted to remember Archie Roach, actually. We've lost so many great singer-songwriters besides John.
Judith Durham yesterday.
That's right. Judith has gone as well. Yeah, a lot of people, even in the last year. I was listening to ABC Radio, as you do when you work at Luna Park. And Sarah, someone will know, Brononsky, I think her name might be. She does a program called Conversations.
Oh.
She did an
It's on the
amazing...
ABC at 11 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Did an amazing interview a few years back with Archie Roach, and they replayed it. And Archie told a story about Sarah asked him when he first performed Took the Children Away. He said it was in 1988 out at La Perouse. He said all the Indigenous people met out at La Perouse before they went into Hyde Park for the big protest on the bicentennial. And everyone was getting up making speeches, and someone said, "You're going to do something, Archie?" He said, "Oh, I can't make a speech, but I've got a song I could do." And they said, "Yeah, that'd be great." And all he had was an electric guitar. And the electric guitars, as you know, you can't hear them unless they're plugged in, and there was no power there. So he played his electric guitar and he sung Took the Children Away. Anyway, he finished the song and there was dead silence. And then he started to notice that all the old ladies were all crying. And then he saw all the older men starting to sort of heave, trying not to cry. And he thought, "Oh God, what have I done? Is this the wrong thing to do a song like this?" And anyway, after he got down, an old couple come up to him and said, that's our life. How did you know about our life?" And he said, "Oh no, that's my life." And then he realized there was, hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people that were taken away. And it was something that he, started to learn more about the stolen generation. But he's a great speaker. If you can find that interview, have a listen to it.
The other song that's really great is The Old Mission Road.
Yes, he's got tons of beautiful
Walk with
songs.
Me, darling, down the Old Mission Road,
Beautiful songs.
It's just, we have it, my wife has it in the car.
Yeah.
And she just plays it all the time, and it almost brings her to tears. She said, "You can't believe that we did these things."
Yeah, that's right. And his first album, if anyone's looking for a good album to start with, is Charcoal Lane. It's just every song is magic, every song.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to give Took the Children Away a go. The story's right, the story's true. I would not tell lies to you, like the promises they did not keep. How they fenced us in like sheep, said to us, "Come take our hand," sent us off to mission lands, taught us to read, to write and pray. Then they took the children away, took the children away, took the children away. Snatched from their mother's breast, said this is for the best, took them away. Welfare and the policeman said you got to understand, we'll give to them what you can't give. Teach them how to really live, Teach 'em how to live, they said, humiliated them instead. Taught them that and taught them this, and others taught them prejudice. Took the children away, oh, the children away, breaking their mothers' hearts, tearing us all apart, took them away. One dark day on framing hand, came and didn't give a damn. My mother cried, go get their dad. He came a-running, fighting mad. Mother's tears were falling down. Dad shaped up and stood his ground. He said, you touch my kids and you fight me. Then they took us from the family, took the children away. Oh, they took us away. Snatched from our mother's breast, said this is for the best, took us away. Told us what to do and say, told us all the white man's ways. Then they split us up again, gave us gifts to ease the pain, sent us off to foster homes. As we grew up, we felt alone, 'cause we were acting white but feeling black. One sweet day, the children came back, children came back. Oh, the children came back. That's where their hearts grow strong, back where they all belong. The children came back. Said the children came back. The children came back. Back where they understand, back to their mother's land. The children came back. Back to their mother, back to their father, back to their sisters, back to their brothers, back to their people, back to their land. All the children came back, the children came back. Yes, Archie's gone back.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful rendition.
Thanks, guys.
The interesting thing was when he sings and he's on stage and he sings those songs which are incredibly moving, he doesn't have any bitterness in him.
Nah.
He sort of sings it so that you can feel the passion,
yeah,
but without the bitterness, you know. This is what happened, and you go, God, we did that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a fascinating. Shelley Morris is the same.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've heard Shelley.
No.
She's the same. She gone back to Arnhem Land, I think now. But there's no bitterness there, but she tells it like it was. You know?
Yeah. In that same interview, Sarah says to him, so you must be angry, are you, Archie? And he says, oh, yeah, I'm angry. Like that, with no anger in his voice, you know.
No, that's right.
He was a beautiful man. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I tried to get him at the last festival that we actually had. He was down at we had him at one festival.
Yeah.
And he was down at the Spiegel tent. They put a Spiegel tent up in Wollongong near the art, next to near the art gallery, behind the art gallery. And we went in and saw him there. And I said to his agent, I said, what's our chances of getting him for the next festival? And she looked at me and she just shrugged. And I said, health. And she said, yeah. And he didn't play hardly at all. Though someone tells me they had tickets for him somewhere in Sydney in October or something, which of course but so it was very rare for him to make an appearance in the finish, because he was just, you know, he'd come along and he'd have the air tubes up his nose and everything, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
And but it was just even his concerts when he was sick were just so good, so good.
Yes, yeah, beautiful singer.
Standing ovations all the time.
Yeah, well deserved.
Thanks for sharing that. I was saying just the other day that growing up going to folk events. I never really thought about it at the time, but then as the years have gone on, I've wondered why that wasn't more stories from Indigenous backgrounds being shared. But I guess there wasn't a lot of crossover between their folk songs and, you know, most of ours come from early Australia or England or Ireland. But hopefully one day they'll be a bit more integrated.
Sure, yeah. That's what we hope.
Okay, so if we switch over, I've got a possible fix for this video problem, but in the meantime, I'm just going to ask, I just saw someone just before. Is it Dan Kelly, Daniel Kelly? Did you want to do a song?
Sure, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't on the list, but have enjoyed listening to all the songs. I never met John, but found a kindred spirit in his cynical and pointed ability to point out injustices in the world.
You're not very loud, Dan.
Yeah, if you could go up just a bit more, that'd be great, Daniel. Thanks.
Is that any better?
Just a bit more if you can, mate.
Probably up full.
How's that?
That might have to do us if that's okay.
Mess with it otherwise. So I live in Yass, and we're a country town next to a city, and some of the people that move out here don't quite understand our ways. So I wrote this song a few weeks ago. Well, I moved here from the city just a few short months ago, from that new suburb in Canberra where the lattes freely flow. But I noticed things are different among these folk with backward ways, so I'm gonna put complaints in and make sure the council pays. As the smoke comes through my window, the rooster wakes me up at dawn. There's a sheep bleating at midnight, and the dogs they bark till morn. People say hello at Aldi, there's cow dung on my shoes. I've got the city to country blues. Well, I don't know what to tell you, mate. I've lived here for 15 years, and the pretences of city folk, they drive me half to tears. Give me dirt and dust and cattle, and a town that's full of life. If you like your filtered air so much, you can go back to latte life. Cause the smoke comes through my window, the rooster wakes me up at dawn. There's a sheep bleating at midnight, and the dogs they bark till morn. People say hello at Aldi, there's cow dung on my shoes. I've got the city to country blues. Well, that rooster keeps the cats away, the thief, and the gentle moan of lambing flocks is the sweet sound of relief. They've been burning wood to keep warm here for 60,000 years. So if you can't learn to love the country, cry me a river with your tears. Cause the smoke comes through my window, the rooster wakes me up at dawn. There's a sheep bleating at midnight, and the dogs they bark till morn. People say hello at Aldi, there's cow dung on my shoes. I've got the city to country blues. I've got the city to country blues. Thank you. That was prompted by a Facebook post of someone complaining about wood smoke coming in through his window, and the town piled on quite.
Well, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible, Dan, when your town, the thing that makes it famous is some McDonald's sign as you come in. It's a picture of it somewhere, and they take it from a certain angle, and it says something quite rude.
I don't think it's been up for 20 years, but we're still suffering, obviously, from.
It's gone now. It's gone, but it was there. It was there as recently as about 5 years ago, I think.
I can't remember what it says now, but I remember I've seen it so many times. People send it on Facebook.
And then the word yes.
Yeah,
what's it say?
My arse open 6 a.m. is the sign.
Well, thanks for that, Daniel. We'll get in touch.
Yeah, it's a good song, Daniel.
That was a beaut song, mate. Yeah, I think we met you years ago at the Bush Music Club at Marrickville. Will that be right? In the Addison Road Centre?
I don't think. Yeah, I did do. Yes, I did do an album, the Zombie Sheep album, there. I think.
Yeah.
But that was a good 5 or 6 years ago now, I think.
Yeah, it was a while back. Yeah. Oh, good to see you again.
And a quick plug for the Yass Irish and Celtic Festival that's on in September.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that a regular one or?
We took over from the Turning Wave in 2018 and ran it for 2 years, and then COVID hit. But this is the first time back again.
Oh, good.
Oh, great.
And people can look you up, I imagine.
Yes, yeah.
Are you on? Are you on the email that I send, Dan?
I did get the email. Yes.
Oh, great. Well, if you want to reply and put that info in there, I can put it on the email I send around.
Sure, I'll send that now.
Great.
Thanks, Dan. Beautiful.
Okay, I've got attempt number 3 for the videos. It'll be very exciting once it's actually.
Oh, the technology.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to. We're trying to do it from Gino's computer now because I think it's an issue on my actual computer. So, Gino, you ready to go? Yep. Okay, so click the button.
The button.
The button.
The big button.
The big button.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Okay, now make the picture bigger.
It's full size now.
Is that on full screen? If there's a weird thing in the top of the screen, Gino.
It's just an ad for Jamie.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, that's going to just be up the top.
Okay, now it's down the bottom. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
That's fine.
Okay, let's give it a go, Gino.
Okay, let's see if the audio goes.
Hi everyone, Dale family, Lainey and all the team organising this event, the
that's good, Jenny.
2022 John Dengate Memorial Concert and all other friends, etc. It's fantastic to be able to make a little contribution to this gathering. I'm really sorry not to be part of it, but I'll be travelling and can't do stuff at 5 in the morning. Anyway, look, this song, a few people said to me that I should write a song about Boris Johnson. I didn't take a lot of convincing, but you'll never, well, you will. It's pretty obvious to see that John inspired this, very much based upon royalty shock, and it's also, like a lot of his songs, it's not topical anymore. Well, actually, it is topical because we still haven't got rid of the bastard. He's still in there. So anyway, here is this. I want you to sing the chorus with me if you wouldn't mind. It goes. Royalty, no it doesn't, that's the other song, whoops. It goes, immoral Prime Minister shock, new horrors unfold by the day. Immoral Prime Minister shock, please won't they take him away. Immoral Prime Minister shock, water rolls off the duck's back. Immoral Prime Minister, more and more sinister. Tories, please give him the sack. Got it? Immoral Prime Minister shock, new horrors unfold by the day. Immoral Prime Minister shock, please won't they take him away. Immoral Prime Minister shock, water rolls off the duck's back. Immoral Prime Minister, more and more sinister. Tories, please give him the sack. I'm Boris, a man of coarse wit. All over the country I flit to show that I care for those stuck in despair, that I honestly don't give a shit. Into Old Eton I breezed and pissed on whomever I pleased. To the master's despair, Parter ruffled my hair and slick were the wheels that he greased. Immoral Prime Minister shock. New horrors unfold by the day. Immoral Prime Minister shock. Please won't they take him away? Immoral Prime Minister shock. Water rolls off the duck's back. Immoral Prime Minister, more and more sinister. Tories, please give him the sack. I find it quite fun to deceive. My words you can never believe. My life is a game and I'm never to blame for the trail of destruction I leave. And many's the filly I've had. I've spat my wild oats like a cad. And I must confess, it's anyone's guess how many out there call me Dad. Immoral Prime Minister shock. New horrors unfold by the day. Immoral Prime Minister shock. Please won't they take him away? Immoral Prime Minister shock. Water rolls off the duck's back. Immoral Prime Minister, more and more sinister. Tories, please give him the sack. At the telly they paid me a stash to write evil filth with panache. At Muslims I sneered and at gypsies I jeered. Yes, I was a racist for cash. Though I am a man of high class and my pedigree's hard to surpass, my morals are shite and my words are as light as the wind I fart out of my arse. Immoral Prime Minister shock. New horrors unfold by the day. Immoral Prime Minister shock. Please won't they take him away? Immoral Prime Minister shock. Water flows off the duck's back. Immoral Prime Minister, more and more sinister. Tories, please give him the sack. Special thanks to my cameraman, Max Jenner.
Beautiful.
Good on you, Dougie.
What a beautiful man. I'll send him. I'll send everyone. Send him your regards from everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Lane. Yeah.
Just while I'm talking about regards, I've got a couple of little notes from people that couldn't make it. Just Peter Russell has a birthday event on. I'm not sure if it was his birthday or a family birthday, but he was apologising for that, sends his best wishes. And I think someone mentioned earlier, Mike Martin was playing a gig today in Tathra, and he's dedicating the Buskers Lament to everyone while he's doing his show. And I think there's quite a few people, which is great, not good for us because we're missing them, but a lot of people have gigs out and about today, which is wonderful, especially in the folky tradition of a Sunday afternoon. So although they might not be here with us today, it's great to know that people are, in some parts of the country at least, getting back to being able to play in front of and with other people. So hopefully, as someone mentioned earlier, we could hopefully do our next get together with some people around us. And everyone has told how much they enjoy tuning in from other places in Australia. So we'll make sure that we can still have a stream. So even if we do it in real life, in the flesh, we can always have a camera set up so that people can see what's happening from other cities.
Good one, done it, Lena. Yes. And any luck with the other video? You've been muted, darling.
Oh, sorry, just muted myself. Yep, we'll just get the other one going now. So we'll repeat that. And I just thank Gino for sorting that out.
Good on you, Jeannie.
And just before we get that playing, so we've got we generally end the event at 5 o'clock. So if there's anyone here that wants to do a performance before we end, if you just want to pop your hand up so we can make sure we get you on the list, or send a message through, or whatever it is that you would like to do.
I just saw a little one between Jason and Chloe put the hand up then.
Oh, yeah.
They got a song?
Did you want to do a song?
Have you got one?
Yes!
Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Made up for him. If you remember him.
Okay. This could be exciting, everybody.
John Dengate, I love you. I wish I could meet you, but I can't. But we still love his songs. We still love his songs. We still love his songs. And my favorite song is Pancake Cake.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Jason, there's a good cue. Can you and Chloe do Bellica Kate with your little one?
Oh, yeah. Well, Chloe hasn't sung. Chloe's just tested.
I've got a short poem I could do it just before if you want.
Okay. Well,
because this is one thing that Jason and Chloe in particular, was terribly involved in. As you might know, or probably not know, for my sins, I am the Grand Master Tripe Eater, and in fact, am the convener of the South Coast Tripe Eaters Association.
Oh, what a beautiful title!
And we are the only folk festival in the world that commences our night, our folk festival, with a tripe night.
I think we can all agree that that's probably for the best.
Well, we do have a tripe national anthem that was written by Blue the Shearer, and whenever Chloe's there, which is most of the time, she teaches everyone to sing it, and everyone stands up. Do you remember it, Chloe? Oh, she probably can't hear me.
You'll notice she's run away, Big Russ.
Yeah, no, she's very good. Anyway, look, what we do is, and John played at just every one of them that we had, I think. John played at it, along with Eric Bogle when he was there, along with a whole heap of other people. Anyway, because there are a lot of people who hate tripe, my wife being one of them, that's why I started the Tripe Eaters. We have to put, but they like hanging around with Tripe Eaters, and we had to put on a meal for them. So I've instructed the cooks that, well, it's not to be really good, and we call it grey sludge. And if they give us the shits too much, we leave it out in the sun for a while and we call it green sludge. And this is the logic of the sludge eater. This is what the sludge eaters say. You can stick your tripe. I'd rather eat me thong. I cannot stand its texture, and I do not like its pong. I do not like its colour, that awful sickly white. Just put it in the garbage, please. Remove it from my sight. She said, I just eat proper food, like Macca's on a bun and KFC Big Rooster. I can eat it on the run. I get tripe from politicians. They're ones I can't abide. And you want me to eat it. You, sir, have a hide. You want me to come to dinner. And the tripe, I have to buy it. I never ever eaten it. And there's no way that I'll try it. And that's the same, that's the logic of the tripe eater. The tripe eater. And that song earlier about I believe, you know.
Yeah.
Well, all those people would be non-tripe eaters, I can tell you, because that would be their attitude.
That's right.
And Chloe, do you remember the Tripe National Anthem?
Yes. Hang on,
could you sing it? It's very short.
Sorry. Can I just ask, Russ, when you said, did you say you were the chief tripe eater or the master tripe eater? What was the word you used?
GMTE.
Grandmaster
Tripe Eater.
When you said Grandmaster Tripe Eater, my brain heard Grandmaster Tripe Eater, and I was like, Is that like some weird like what are they called? What are the secret society? The
Masons.
Masons. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh my
a
God,
Masonic thing. Yeah,
he's
they
outed
all eat
himself.
tripe. Yeah,
He's outed himself.
they all
Sorry
eat
to
no.
interrupt. Sorry,
No,
Chloe, you gotta go.
We're actually a culinary organisation. You got that one? Got that one, lady?
No,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, culinary.
Yeah. Chloe might be able to do the tribe. This is what we all get up and put our hand over our hearts, and then Chloe teaches us to sing it. Yeah.
Well, let's
She
see if
might
it's
do
me.
it for us now because it's very short.
All right, you have to help me out, Russell, if I get stuck. I like tripe fried with onions. Tripe fried with onions for me. I like it for dinner. I like it for tea. Tripe fried with onions, the food of the free. It strengthens libido, enhances your sex, gets rid of pimples with no side effects. I like tripe fried with onions. Tripe fried with
onions for me. Oh, beautiful.
That was written by the great Lou the Shearer, who hated tripe, but he was never allowed to say it. He used to have to come and say how wonderful it was and everything, but he never ate it.
Nice accompaniment, Joanna. Nice accompaniment there.
Beautiful.
It was a good effort.
Okay, so Chloe and Jace are going to do a song now, and then we're going to go to a video. Is that right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, great.
Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes and the Irish face. A poor bush girl when the summer is high, in the stony hills of Gundagai. Bare-legged Kate, why do you weep when the men ride by with the travelling sheep? Does the sight of the drover make you sad? Do you think of the father you never had? Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes and the Irish a poor bush girl when the
Summer is high
in the
stony hills of Gundagai.
Bare-legged Kate, why do you run down by the creek in the setting sun? Down where the eyes of the world cannot see. Run, Kate, run from poverty. Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes and the Irish face. A poor bush girl when the summer is high, in the stony hills of Gundagai. Bare-legged Kate, there is gold in the hills, but you know that the cyanide process kills. Poisons the miners and cuts them down in the big little holes below the town. Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes and the Irish face. Poor bush girl when the summer is high, in the stony hills of Gundagai. Bare-legged Kate when the floods. No.
Anyone?
Bare-legged I usually sing those last two verses together, so that's
When the
good.
floods come down, it's the poor and the creeks are ones who drown.
We did that one, didn't we? No, that's it.
That's
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bare-legged Kate, when the floods come down, it's the poor and the creeks are the ones who drown. When the great Murrumbidgee is thundering high through the haunted hills of Gun.
More everybody.
Bare-legged Kate within its race,
the big sad eyes
and
a poor bush girl when the sun is high in the stone haunted hills of That's a bit wild and woolly.
That's the first heard Chloe sing since the dreaded COVID top one we left, so it's a happy day here.
Oh my gosh. Chloe, your
Beautiful.
voice is recovering really well. Your voice is beautiful post
Yeah.
or pre-COVID.
It's coming back, I think. It's with great relief. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think she ever lost it.
No, that's right.
You weren't here last week, Russell.
Hey? I wasn't there last week.
No.
I tell you the song, everyone would have a favourite Dengate song, and most of them are favourites for mine, but the one that really always stands out and nobody's done it is Song of Childhood.
My favourite, Russell.
Is that one of your favourites too? Yeah. It's got
It's the first one I ever heard him sing, and I was sold from that moment, yeah. So
it's poetry, Jason, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's got that sort of, my hands couldn't hold the chance, you know.
Is Lockie there, Dale? Is Lockie still there? Because I know Lachlan's got a nice story about the looking for the ball, but I would rather he told it than me. Do you remember telling me that story, mate? You remember
There he is.
The
Let's
lost
just unmute him.
Song of Childhood, yeah. I don't remember. I think you told me about looking for the lost ball.
I've just.
Are you unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. No, you're there now, Dale.
Yeah, got you now.
Yeah, I think about the cork ball. I remember finding
that's
it
right.
in Nana and Granddad's backyard and going, Dad, I found a ball. And he said, it was a metaphor.
That's the one.
I didn't even know that word.
Yeah. No.
Dad,
That's classic. That's not a real word, Lockie. You made it up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's
Now-
so great.
The ball went through Nana's window once, and she wasn't too happy about that.
That's a real ball. Yeah.
Now, speaking of Lockie, we got your video to work, so we're just going to share that. I'm going to do the shout. Got the shouties one to work.
Yeah, well done, Max. Well done, Laney. Good on you.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
I just want to say a couple of words to Joanna. I just thought her playing that old blue ukulele just splendid.
You're really coming along, aren't you?
Can we have a round of applause for Joanna?
Yeah. It's like you got another musician on your hands there.
It's worth mentioning that blue ukulele was a lovely gift from Dale a few years ago. So
beautiful.
That's
So
why
great.
I heard it played so well. But the other thing is, we're all saying, Jason, Lockie's jealous because how do you keep your beards looking so young?
Yeah, why do you look younger than
the grey bits?
Grey goose.
It's
Bloody
called
well
hair.
dyes
It's
it.
called hair dye.
Hair dye, that's what it is. He
dye.
bloody dyes
That's
it.
right. I bet he bloody dies it.
I keep hoping to live long enough to get some grey stuff, and I'm getting a couple, you know. Race between mortality and grey hair, you know.
I'm completely grey now.
Boot polish. I could loan you a few of mine, Jason.
I miss that.
I'll just say something about Alan's beard. Whenever we get on the train, you can see the little kids whispering to their mum, Mummy, is that Santa Claus?
Yes.
Jason, I said I could loan you some of mine.
Yeah. When Megan was little, they'd say to us, do your kids have the fear of Santa Claus that some kids have? And I said, they're folky kids. Come on, fat guys with grey beards.
They're everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna do this vid. Hey, Gino, you ready to rock? Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over to Gino. He's gonna share the video, and so this is Lucky Dengate and the Shouties, and this is a recent one, is it, Lucky?
Yeah, it was just last weekend. Last
Weekend.
Saturday night, I think it was. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's pretty shit.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear. Thanks,
Good for
Locke.
that. Okay, Gino, take it away. Want to make it bigger? Yep. Yep.
Whatever it is, look,
I tell you what, Lucky, what we need for that one is the subtitles across the bottom.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the words. I was making it up as I was going along.
You're doing a very, very good Keith Moon impersonation, though. Very good.
Oh, the slide up the
Slide up.
Yeah, there's a lot of range in there. I think John would have been pretty jealous of that range you've got.
Yeah, I've got 4 octaves.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I can't remember any words. I just make it up as I'm going along.
Beautiful. Oh no, your dad.
That's
Yeah,
a
but-
song by the Loved Ones.
Yeah. Love the loved ones.
Yeah.
What's it called? I can't remember.
Called Indecipherable. I think Indecipherable.
Ever loving man, Lockie, isn't it? Isn't that the one?
Ever
Ever loving.
Ever loving man. Yeah, ever loving man.
One of my favourites. You had us cooking in here.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. But he does. He's pretty mental. The guy. That's how he sings it. And why are you doing that? Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes. Yeah.
Well, it works. It works well.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to ask. Just wanted to ask if there's anyone here that wants to do a song before we wrap up. Maybe Jason? Did you want to do?
Can I do a request?
Sure.
Can Lane sing a song?
I don't really want to.
Come
Well,
on,
there was one I was going to do, but I couldn't talk the other person into doing it with me, but maybe I could just do it by myself.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Give it a song.
Go on.
All right. How
Nail
about this? I'll make a deal. Jason, will you do
Yeah.
Song of Childhood after I do a song to wrap up?
Sure, you betcha. I'd love
What
to.
was
You
that?
betcha, I think you said, yeah.
You betcha.
Love to, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
love to.
Don't have to twist an arm too much for the rowers. They're ready to rock at any minute. Okay. All right. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
This is a good sing along.
I just want to introduce my beautiful daughter, Lane, who I don't think has sung a song yet for the Dengate thing because she's always so busy organising everybody else. So here we go.
Thank you. Okay. I'm just going to get the lyrics here, which I did prepare just in case. Let me just make sure I can see it.
How's your foot going, Lockie?
Get out.
Yeah? Were you playing the drums with a broken foot?
Yeah. I don't know if it's good or bad for it, but
No.
I'm doing it anyway.
Wow. Okay, so this is a good sing along. Feel free to unmute. I'm not sure how crazy it'll get if we do that too much, but all right. So this is the Poker Machine song, and I feel like it's got to be done. I don't think anyone did it last year or the year before. So all right, we're gonna give it a go. I've got to put my best deep voice on. Okay, ready? Well, I had a shave and I had a tub and I went to the Marrickville Tennis Club. No, I didn't hit balls into the net, but I still got beaten game and set. Still got beaten game and set. Now I says to the cove behind the bar, I've a thirst like a Yankee motor car. Pour us a schooner and gird your loins, and give us $2 worth of 10-cent coins. Give us $2 worth of 10-cent coins. Well, wise men say you'll do your dough. Poker machines are a big no-no. They say that the pokies bring despair, but I'm due for a jackpot, what do I care? Due for a jackpot, what do I care? And excitement rises by degrees as a cider machine called Honeybees. I'm feeling lucky and I'm going to win. Watch me make those 4 reels spin. Watch me make those 4 reels spin. And clink goes 10 cents down the slot. Now get ready for the big jackpot. A jack and an ace and a queen and a king. Now that doesn't pay a flamin' thing. No, that doesn't pay a flamin' thing. Well, me mate goes by on his way to the gents, and he says, for Christ's sake, have some sense. Don't bite me when your dough runs out. And just remember that it's your next shout. Just remember that it's your next shout. And the coins go rattle and the handles jerk, so it's less like fun and more like work. I've an empty tray and an aching wrist. I'm losing me temper and I'm 3 past Pierce. Losing me temper and I'm 3 past Pierce. But me hopes expire, if you know what I mean, when I switch to a 20-cent machine. Bury me now with a flag half-mast. I'm losing me wages twice as fast. Losing me wages fast. Where am I? Sorry. But me hopes expire, if you know what I mean. Wait, did I just do that one? I can't see. Sorry. Oh, yep, sorry. So I had a shave and I had a tub and I went to the Marrickville Tennis Club. Though I didn't hit balls into the net, but I still got beaten game and set. Still got beats and game and set.
Lane, there's a thing I've got to say about this, because I had to chastise Lockie when he was down. He played at the Diggers Club and he sang that song, and you left out a verse that was, it paid $1.40 when I got 3 queens. And Lockie said, and it paid $1.60 when it paid 3 queens. And 3 queens never, ever paid $1.60. It was always $1.40. So I had to correct him when I got up to back them down.
Fair enough.
And I've got to tell you too, that John Dengate, I had a tripe night at the Shell Harbour Bowling Club, which is no longer there.
Oh, God.
And he played at it.
He's talking about tripe again. I think we're going to have a rule for next year. No tripe talk.
He's always talking tripe, he is.
That's only incidental, because what happened was, I was on the board there for about 10 years until they pulled the bloody place down because we went broke. And I think it was because John was one of the causes of it, because when he talks about the machine being, that there was a machine right next to where you went into the gents, and he got a super jackpot on it. And the members of the club and the other board members were really cranky with me for bringing him down. Not because he didn't like his songs, they thought they were terrific, but they said, he's an outsider, mate. Those machines are for us. Locals have got to win on those, not bloody outsiders from bloody Sydney. We think we better bar him. And anyway, they didn't bar him in the finish because he came back again. But he almost got barred from the Shell Harbour Bowling Club, and it took an awful lot of badness to get barred from the Shell Harbour Bowling Club. It was a very bad bloody scene. Anyway, but he almost got barred. So you can sort of, that can be put on his CV. It's probably not on his CV at the moment. What happened to him at Shell Harbour. Anyway.
Thanks, Big Russ. Thanks, mate.
Isn't that Schlab, Big Russ?
Schlaba.
Schlaba, yeah. Well, actually, when I was taking it home, I'd never seen a man get so cranky. We called in at the Albion Park Rail, the Oaks Hotel at Albion Park Rail, and he wanted to have a bet. And I had to get him to the train at the station, you see. And there was a bloody queue. And he got second up from the end, and the race started and his horse won. I have never seen a man so cranky in all my life.
That's the only horse you ever picked too. The only one.
He's going to blow up the pub. Anyway, he was still cranky when I put him on the train. He was still whinging and complaining.
Hey, sorry, just before we pop back to Jason and Chloe to finish off, I just wanted to ask, Dale, did you want to just point out behind you there, I saw a bit earlier and I meant to ask, there's a photo there of your, of the Dengate street signs.
Behind you on the wall.
Yeah, I've just pressed the button there's a button that's popped up to unmute you, Dale, if you can just press on that.
Yeah, I'm just leaning in.
Oh, there you go, yep.
So those, that's down in Canberra, and they, the suburb of Moncrief, that's a fairly new one, and they wanted Australian singer-songwriters for the names of the streets. So just after John died, you had to be dead. And so just after John died, the fellow who was in charge at the ACT came along to the concert at the National Folk Festival and said to me, look, if you fill in the forms and have all the right information about John and so on, then he might get a street named after him. That was the story there. So next to Slim Dusty's street.
Beautiful.
Lockie, I think next time we're in Canberra, we might have to lift that sign.
Yeah.
Well, Nico,
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
No, don't.
Hey, Max, I reckon you might know someone that could make a replica of that.
I think a replica.
Generally, the council will replace it.
Yeah, Max Elbow.
They definitely will. Yeah, and it'll be more work for the workers. Yeah.
So you're one of those people that pinch signs, are you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I totally do. Yeah.
I'll take down the no stopping, no standing, no stopping, no nothing sign.
Yep.
I've taken
Yep.
those down.
He's got a room full of them.
I know the ones you haven't pinched because I've got them.
Stack of them.
I bet you haven't got one saying num bugger, have you? Num bugger.
Bugger. Where's num
One
bugger?
outside Bega, and the people who live there, they can't keep the sign there because everyone keeps pinching it.
Oh, that's a great name. I'm going to num bugger next week.
Num bugger.
Well,
If you go to Kiama, you drive through Bombo.
Oh, yeah, that's
But Bombo is not really, it should not be its name. Geologically, it's called that because it's on the Bumbo latites. And so it should have been called Bumbo. But when they went to call it, they said, we can't have anyone living at Bumbo. So they changed it to Bumbo. It's to Bombo.
Cowards.
And Bumbo is still the name of the geological latite there.
Bumbo is the name of a wonderful South American drum, Lucky.
Oh, there you go.
Have you got any?
South American drum called the bumbo.
That's where that saying,
sorry, just to interject.
Bumbo came from, isn't
Just
it?
to interject, I feel that we started off with bum talk, so it's totally right. But I've just noticed that Mr. Sean Dengate seems to be wielding an axe. Were you wanting to play something?
Oh no, Len, I love your observation skills. I just wanted to tell my mum, firstly, leaning in doesn't turn off the mute button.
No.
Often, why we would steal a street sign.
Oh, you're right.
And when I wasn't expecting
It doesn't
to be
work.
called
Yeah.
in, I just play to get everyone who's singing. I think is fabulous, and I just play along with them. So I wasn't trying to join you.
That's all right.
I thought you were magnificent, Wayne. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Sean. Look, I've always got an eye out for a swinging guitar. You never know.
The other thing, it's leaning in doesn't make you more attractive either.
Unless you want to look even more like Keith Moon.
I think there's an inverse relationship going on with the leaning in thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll switch over to Jason and Chloe. Sorry, Max, I've just realised I keep taking over as MC.
That's good.
Must be something in the blood. Something in the blood.
Someone's got to do it. I think Big Russ has done well today. As
Hey,
MC.
Big Russ. So what we might do is finish off with the rowers, but we'll say goodbye at the end. But just wanted to say thank you to everyone for coming. And I know it's a bit of a different thing, or maybe not so different now that we've done it a few years in a row. But it's always just a real pleasure dealing with everyone. And I just want to thank everyone for their thank yous, because every time we put this event on, I get lots of emails through from everyone saying thank you for my work. And it's really not work at all. It's just a pleasure to be able to put this together for you guys. So big thanks to you. And I'll also send around an email like last time, asking if anyone wants to send on their words for any of their original songs, so that I can put them up on the website and everyone can enjoy them and sing along once the video's up. So I'll just pass. Thank you, and we'll just pass you back over to the Roworths.
Thanks, everybody. I was just introduced the song we were talking about poker machines. On the 1st of August, 9 years ago, I was playing a gig at a pub in Blackheath, playing Telecaster in a blues band, and I didn't feel like playing at all for obvious reasons. And I had one coin in my pocket, and I put it in a poker machine, and I pulled $50 out, and it's the last poker machine I touched, but it gave me a little bit of courage to get through the gig that night. Yeah, song of childhood. Thanks, everybody, and despite the too many thanks, Lainey, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Max. Top job, mate. That's just beautiful. Mate, I've had fun. Have you had fun?
I've had fun.
We could only afford Joanna for one song, though. She's a bit out of our price range. Where have the days of my childhood gone? Time has plundered the years, stolen my gift of golden days, left me with ashes and tears. I wandered along the lonely road, over the paddocks I run, drugged with summer cicada song, drunk with freedom and sun. Now take me back to a 5-row house in a suburb car from the bush. Give me an acre of lawn to cut and a rusty old mower to push. Give me a summery Saturday just after the war was won. The dad and my uncles drinking beer, sprawled on the grass in the sun. They spoke with a curious, proudly laugh. Their laughter was careless and free, fresh from the battles against Japan. They seemed immortal. But how can an innocent boy discern what's fallible, false or true? Their mortal footsteps are faltering now, and mine are faltering too. I'll bring out the bat and the warm cork ball, we'll bowl and an old wooden cage. She'll jump and she'll turn off the asphalt road, she'll come at a lively pace, but barefoot, careless and undismayed, we'll drive and hammer and glance. The ball lies lost in the tangled years, my hands couldn't hold the chance.